What's up, everybody? It is Thanksgiving Eve, Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's your boys, the two biggest stew nods in the motherfucking world. It's the Mike and Mish show. What's up, Mike?
Hey, here we are. Couple of stew nods. And will you check these things out? Look at what Kyle's wearing.
Oh, what do we have here? What do you got there, Mikey? A little stew nod of the week merch.
Yeah,
oh boy.
couple of stew nod of the week merch. You see that?
We got to find out if people are interested in these goddamn things, and then maybe we'll get them mass produced.
Yeah,
but for now, prototype style. What's happening, Mike? It's the night before Thanksgiving. You're going to have some family festivities tomorrow. Me and my family did what we do every Thanksgiving Eve now that we're old and we don't go out and get shit house with our friends anymore. We have families. We get together with a friend of ours with their kids, and we have Chinese food the night before Thanksgiving.
Oh, nice.
Couple of beers, couple of $100 worth of fucking Chinese food, and then we feel fat and bloated and we want to die. And then I say, guys, we got to go home. I got to do a show with Mikey. What did you do, Mike?
I ate trash.
You ate trash?
Yeah, not actually out the trash bag, but actual trashy food. Like I ate like pizza that was left over. I had a bowl of cereal, but I was actually cooking because I like to get some of the sides ready tonight so that tomorrow I don't have as much to do and I can heat them.
Did you say you had a bowl of cereal while you were cooking?
I did. I will eat and cook at the
my
same
guy.
time. I'm wild like that.
Yo, what kind of, I got to ask you, because for those who don't know, Mike is the biggest cereal fucking freak on the planet. He sees a type of new cereal come out.
Oh,
that shit is in his kitchen. What did you have this time?
Well, one of my all-time favorite brands, there was a new style, right? New flavor. So Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Everybody loves Cinnamon Toast Crunch, right? Around the holiday season, they have something that comes out called Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch, which I highly recommend you get. It should be on the shelves. I think it's already out, and it's only out during Christmas time. But that's not what I had. They have a new one. It's called Gingerbread.
Oh,
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Cinnamon Gingerbread Toast Crunch. It was freaking delicious.
Better than regular Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
No. I don't think so. It just has a little bit of cinnamon, like had that gingerbread. It has a little, like, I don't know if it's spicy. You know what I mean? It's have a little bit to it, an extra, a little to it. Yeah, a little.
Do you know that our boy Larry, our boy LD, he had this weird like thought in his mind that, don't get all freaking weirded out about this, people, but breast milk, when he was about to have a child, he said he couldn't wait to taste it because he has this vision in his mind that women's breast milk tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal milk. He found out quick that is not true.
He thought it was going to be glorious.
Yeah, he found out.
They look glorious. It probably tastes glorious too.
A little on the bitter side.
Not so much. Oh, look at Jomi. I see a lot of, what do we got in here? Big Ben Simmons flavored life. Jomi says Reese's Puffs. Those are
dude, Reese's Puffs
very
are awesome.
good. Yes, they
Absolutely.
are.
You know what my kids are?
Yes,
you know what? My older son is an absolute Crave freak.
Oh, Crave is good.
Crave is so good. And between me and him, a box, we got to buy the big, like, family style bags of them things and then we pour them into this container, because if we just buy a regular box of Crave, it wouldn't last fucking 20 minutes in our house.
I was on a Crave kick 2012 deployment. They had the little Crave, so I'd grab some of those for snacks, but when I wasn't eating super healthy.
From the chow hall?
Oh, yeah. From the chow hall. They had the chocolate, the chocolate inside the chocolate. Those were good.
In between protein shakes and Rippets.
And just straight up fucking chicken breast dinner every day on deployment. I'd go in that place and I'd be like, can I get 3 chicken breasts? The guys would be like, oh my God, this freaking guy is eating us out of chicken breasts tonight. Because I would go in there on midnight chow and just be getting chicken breasts and waffles.
That's when Mike was on a mission. He went from 125 to 175 in 9 months.
That was a good deployment. That was a good one.
Hey, guys, we got a big show for you tonight. We got 3 guests lined up. One of them's ready to come on in a second. We're going to bring him on. We got the one and only Eddie Alvarez coming on to talk about his upcoming fight against Mike Perry. And then we got Howard H.D. Davis, who's going to be taking on Kai Stewart for that 145 title. And then we're going to finish up the show with Ben Rothwell, who's going to be fighting Todd Duffee in Salt Lake City. And then stick around after because we're going to do Stew Nod of the Week. And we got 4 really, really good nominees for fucking biggest Stew Nods of the week. And you know them.
Giant Stew Nods.
Giant Stew Nods. But let's go ahead. We're going to shout out our sponsors in a little bit. We're going to go ahead and bring our guest on for the first guest of the evening. You guys know him, MMA legend, made a splash at BKFC 41 against Chad Mendez and looked right at home in his new sport. Here he is, the Underground King, Eddie Alvarez. Uh-oh. Where'd he go? There you are. Mike, what's going on?
I got it. Let me do it.
You do it.
Hey-o.
Hey.
Can you hear him?
You there, fellas?
Yeah, we got you, man. We got you.
All
We
right,
lost you for a second.
There he is. What's going on, Eddie? How are you?
What's the deal? Just got out of the gym. Sorry, I'm in my truck. I ran out of here. Just got a little bit of work in.
No problem. I know it's crunch time, man. You're what, 10 days out from a big fight for the BKFC. You heard me say it on the intro. We'll get to that in a second, but I noticed that shirt. I want to give a shout out to your sponsor, your boys over there. Your boys, these guys are some cool dudes, Eddie. They hooked us up with some stuff. They said, have a coffee with Eddie.
Yo.
So there we go. Get shit done.
Shit done. I don't know if I got one in my bag here. Usually I got them in my bag.
You know,
I'm gonna have one with you.
There you go. Let's do it. Hey,
let's do this.
Nothing like a 9 o'clock at night coffee. Cheers.
There's no such thing as the wrong time for some coffee.
That's right.
Oh, I drink a coffee every night. I'm pretty sure it's really bad for you, but I do it.
So I was messaging back and forth with him about, because he said he was going to send us some stuff. He knew we were going to talk to you and we wanted to have a coffee with you. And I said, it's funny because GSD was written on the back of our shirts on our 2012, 2013 deployment. I was doing a lot of like power deadlift competitions and like powerlifting competitions. And we got these shirts, and on the front it said testosterone. Yes, have some. And on the back it said GSD for get shit done. And I'm like, funny coincidence. Anyways, shout out to them. Dude, you're back. BKFC 56. You're fighting Mike Perry. But before we talk about that, I want to talk about BKFC 41. You had all this experience in MMA. You were a champion everywhere you went in there. You were comfortable in every organization you fought in. Your first taste of bare knuckle fighting, BKFC 41, Chad Mendez. Tell us about the experience and how did it compare, to the other 20 years of your career?
I enjoyed it, man. It took a while for me to actually put gloves on. Growing up in Kensington and Philadelphia, I got in a ton of fights, ton of street fights, and it's kind of how I was brave enough and courageous enough to go ahead and put some gloves on and fight in front of my friends when I was 19 years old. So I started my career in 2003. But, before I ever put gloves on and fought in front of a commission and a referee and did a sanctioned fight, been in a ton of ones without gloves on. So it was like being a kid again. I enjoyed it.
Like I said, you looked right at home. And we talked to you after that in the press conference, and you said words to those MMA fighters that are thinking about possibly trying it out. I thought that was really excellent what you said to them. You said something along the lines of a 1 minute break between a 2 minute round. I was almost 100% coming off the stool every single time. And that's got to be a vote of confidence for the sport, for anybody that's like hesitant to get in there and throw. Those words right there, you said it was like the best camp you ever had because you didn't have to worry too much about wrestling and grappling and all that shit. And then in between the 2 minute rounds, you got a full minute, which is half the amount of time you were in there fighting. So it's almost like you get a full reset, right?
Yeah, and that's fighter friendly. It's not fighter friendly. Like that ratio, work rate to rest, that's a fighter friendly, action packed. You're going to be able to be 100 every one of your shots, every one of your entrances, defense. You're going to be able to be on point for 10 minutes. If your rest to work ratio is of that. But when you go 5 minutes with only 1 minute break, what's that, 20% ratio to rest? It's very exhausting. It's very difficult to keep up with, especially if the fight's a grappling heavy fight. So it just what it really does is it's a win for the fans and a win for the fighters, where it keeps the fight crazy action packed the entire time.
That was that whole event. I don't know if you agree with, like, do you ever go back and like watch the events? I know that leading up to your fight that night, you're in the back and you're getting ready, but do you ever like take a minute to go back and watch the event that you fought in? Because start to finish, like everything about BKFC 41 was damn near perfect.
Yeah,
And
it was definitely a record-breaking event
right,
for
just
BKFC.
to everything. It was like the people that were there, the fights. You and Chad kind of had like a almost like a Stephen Bonner, Forrest Griffin type for the sport of BKFC. Like they took MMA to the next level.
Yeah.
And even though BKFC had been around for 5 years, it needed two guys with a reputation like yourselves to take it to that next level. Have you gone back and taken a look at the product from that night?
Yeah, I watch. I'm a fan of the sport before I'm a fighter. I watch in the back when I'm getting ready, because I don't want to miss a fight ever. So I watch like you guys do, and I get to enjoy the fights as much as I can. But yeah, I go back and watching the event in its entirety after I'm done. Usually the week after the fight, that's all I'm doing, just rewatching, checking it out, rewatching the fights, and just being a fan, and also critiquing myself. But yeah, the fight itself, I think we elevated it. I think um everybody on the card did, like just the recognition of us entertaining the best fighters in the world, and Kamaru Usman, Justin Gaethje, uh, Conor McGregor, like everybody's around and we're entertaining the stars of fighting. That was a beautiful thing in itself, but I think it's a chance to let fans know that when you look at something that isn't like aesthetically pleasing, it's supposed to be barbaric, that there's human stories behind it, and competitors.
Yeah.
We're not savages. We're human beings, but we're competitors first. And we can shake hands afterwards and wish each other well afterwards. So that's all.
Okay, Mike.
Did you have a word with Luke Rockhold after the fight at all, and what happened in his fight, and whether or not could you tell whether or not he was going to come back? Because he was like, forget it, I'm all set with bare knuckle after that fight. He was done. I don't know if you talked to him about it.
But my rapport with Luke is just, hey man, how's it going? Good to see you. I never had a long sense of relationship with Luke. Just high and by. Always liked him. Good guy. Especially in the sport of MMA, he's a legend. But no, but I never really even during his build up to the fight, I never viewed Luke as a bare knuckle guy. His fights have never been like blood and guts and punching heavy. He's been a kicker and a jiu-jitsu guy mostly. So I never viewed him as the bare knuckle type or a guy who could cross over and do well. But no.
I think I agree with you on that. And like we talked to him on the show and we talked to him out there, and like I don't know if he was all the way in on this. And I also think that he may have been taking Mike Perry like very lightly. Like he thought he can just go in there and walk through Mike Perry because maybe just his size and stature and like his career, his experience. But Mike is a tough dude, and this sport seems to be right for him. And that means and that like transitions right into what we want to talk to you about. After your fight at 41, was Mike Perry a name that was brought up like right away, or was that somebody that you wanted to fight, or was there a lag of no conversation for a while, and then all of a sudden Mike Perry's name pops up?
No, I originally was talking to BKFC, I wanted Mike Perry for the first fight. I didn't want Chad Mendez. Chad wasn't on my list of guys that I wanted to fight. I didn't even think me and Chad would be possible because I was fighting one championship at 170. So my body kind of moved up a weight class. So I didn't know if Chad was possible. But they said, yeah, Chad will fight you and he's willing to go to this weight. So I said, okay. But my original, You know, like I tell people, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. So my original guy was Mike Perry. I want to make the fights that fans want to see. And if fans don't want to see it, I want to be involved in it. So I think Mike Perry was the guy. He had all the juice, the attention, and I think the style matchup just makes for, you know, it's a fan-friendly fight. Yeah, we both kind of do the same shit. We both have very similar style.
Did you know that that fight was made right here on this show 13 months ago? You might not know this, and the world might not know this, but October 28th, 2022, we had Mike Perry on this show, and I talked to him about you and fighting you, and not only fighting you for the title of most violent fighter on the planet.
Yeah.
Brought that up on this show 13 months ago.
So you guys manifested that.
We did.
Look, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I actually have the clip of that. You mind? I'll play it real quick, and
I want to see it. Yeah, let's see it.
But there's a free agent out there on the market right now that just left one FC, and I know that he's dipping around to different organizations trying to see what's the best opportunity. What do you think about a Eddie Alvarez fight?
Hey, Eddie Alvarez was probably the first fighter I ever saw, and it was on Bodog back in the 90s. I was a little kid, and I remember seeing these dudes fighting. And, you know, Eddie Alvarez is known for being very durable. He gets knocked down, he gets back up. It's kind of his thing in a fight sometimes. And, you know, I'm one to take a shot, but I mean, if he wants to do it, if he's looking for an organization to go to, I'd be happy to welcome him to Bare Knuckle, or anyone else who's really, you know.
You can challenge him for the title of most violent fighter in the world. Didn't him and Gaethje fight for that? And he actually dispatched of Gaethje in like an all-out. I think that you could throw your hat in the ring for that. I mean, we've all seen your fights, man.
Yeah, toss it in there, put my name in the ticket, roll the tumbleweed, because, you know, draw my name out that box, man. I'm ready to fight anybody, anytime, anywhere. I mean, I stay prepared.
You guys called it.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
You even called the belt.
I know, it's crazy. And
you're like, remember Miss Cleo?
Yeah, well, call me now.
Call me now for your bumbleclot reading.
You know, we've been kind of referring to me as Mystic Mish now, kind of like Mystic Mac, Mystic Mish. I call these things, you know.
Yeah, you did it. You definitely.
You know what? What do you got to say about him saying that he watched you back in the night? I think he's a little off with his years there, though, right? You weren't fighting a Bodog in the 90s. It was like 05, 03, 04, 05, something like that, when you were fighting Bodog?
Early 2000. I started in 03.
Yeah.
And I got in Bodog around, 05, 06, something like that.
So there he goes. He aged you by, another decade, Eddie.
I've been doing this. I've been doing it too long. A lot of these guys been watching me, but it's not like, I don't know if it's a compliment or maybe I should just get the fuck out of this.
No, man, it's pretty fucking awesome. And a guy like him, he was excited to, when we talked to him, he seemed like, hell yeah, he'd fight you. Let me ask you this, and we're going to talk about Perry in a second. And what are your thoughts on Luis Palomino, who continuously keeps saying that you're not going to show up for this fight and I will be there? Eddie doesn't want this fight. He's not going to show up. I'll show up. What is that all about? And do you and him have like a real beef going on or something? What are your thoughts on that, the Palomino talk?
No, I think, look, Luis, I kind of feel sorry for him. He's been in the sport forever, and he's definitely he's a respectable guy. He's been in MMA like a while, but he's never been a successful MMA fighter, and crossed over the bare knuckle, and he's doing well in like the local shows, Miami shows and stuff like that. And I think he's just having trouble getting big names. You know what I mean? Like he's just always been just a guy, nothing particular special or anything like that. And I think maybe he's just getting frustrated, but I think he is under the impression that contracts are getting sent to me or Mike with his name on them, and we're like not signing contract. Nobody is receiving anything with the name Luis Palomino on it. And I don't think as much as I get paid or Mike gets paid, I don't think they can make that fight and make money. So I think that the problem with Luis is he doesn't draw. It's not that he's not a decent fighter. He can fight, but he's going to have a problem because he's been in the sport so long. He hasn't really beaten any big names or done anything. So, I don't know, but it got to make sense for the promotion, right? Like the promotion's got to be able to make money.
Oh, absolutely.
They pay me a lot. They pay Mike a lot, and they got to be able to make their money back. So Luis got to figure out something for himself to help with that.
You think you'd ever like give him the rub, for lack of a better word, phrase, like, hey, you go through this fight with Mike, and then maybe you say, you know what, Palomino, let's do this. What do you know what I mean? You want this fight? Would you do that?
I don't mind, but I'm not taking a pay cut to fight Luis Palomino for his title. Like, look, I have a family. I make a lot of money. I beat world champions all over. Luis Palomino's be the smallest champion I ever fought. So, like, I'm not personally going to take a pay cut to fight him. If they pay me what they pay me, and they say, hey, we'll pay you the same to fight Luis Palomino, I'll fight him 7 days a week, twice on Sunday. But it's the promotion that got to make sense for it, not me.
It's kind of the same situation. Sorry, guys. It's kind of the same situation with the Perry Mundell fight, right? Because
same deal. And this is I don't want to say BKFC's been around 5 years. This is a startup company, and it's a baby, and it's an infant. In the long run, this is an infant. 5 years is very small, and these fights, me, Chad, Mike, Luke, me, Mike, this is making Luis Palomino and Dave Mondell famous. Like, it's bringing attention to them. They should sit back and understand the business and go, okay, I'll be patient. I don't need to fight Eddie or fight Mike or whatever. I'm going to let the eyeballs come to the sport, and then eventually the fight will happen. But the promotion has to make money. If the promotion don't make money, then you being a champ of a promotion that goes under water.
Yeah.
Was that planned?
Right. It goes underwater, and then whoosh, and the next thing we know, this whole time, climate change has been happening. We were just ignoring it.
Eddie, we lost you. I don't know if you can hear us.
But so
what really needs to happen though, while we're waiting for him.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, we lost you for a second. So what really needs to happen, and you were making big sense there for sure. It doesn't, like, Luis Palomino fighting you doesn't make sense to us in the fan base anyway. Tony Soto is 5-0 in the 155-pound division, and he's next up for his title. He should fight him. The question would be more for you and I think you just answered it. If you beat Mike Perry on December 2nd, and the BKFC was like, we would like to make you, give you an opportunity to be a champion for us. We want you to fight Mundell. As long as the number on the contract is correct, you'll go fight Mundell for a title.
Twice on Sunday, man. For me, look, I have plenty of world titles. I'm gonna say they don't mean nothing, but they mean very little to me. I have a lot of them. I know I can win at a high level. I know I can beat the best guys in the world. The money's got to make sense, and I apologize, but I've been in this sport way too long. Fought the best guys ever. If the promotion's paying me correctly and I'm okay with what I'm getting paid, I'll fight anyone. That's not an issue. Anybody who's been following me for 20 years knows that. Look at my resume. I fought the best guys back to back, and I continue to. So, like, that's not ever a question. It's more about, is it going to make sense? And are the zeros going to add up?
Yeah. You got to support your family. And, dude, you're fighting Mike Perry, and we're going to just talk about that before we let you go take all. We don't want to take up all your time. You being from Philly, BKFC being based out of Philly, it's like, and you having the background that you have, the already crowned the most violent fighter in the world once. You have the street fight reputation. You've won all these titles. It seems like a perfect marriage between you and them to be like an ambassador for the sport of bare knuckle, because it is growing at such a fast rate. But like you said, it is so young. A guy like yourself and a guy like Perry too, you guys are kind of like the perfect type of fighter to draw in like humongous waves of fan base. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's Philadelphia, man. Philadelphia we're the city of grit, heart, determination. You see our guy, like a lot of times, even our sports teams, we're dogs. We're not the best team in the league, but somehow we figure it out and we win. I've always been the same way. And I even seen the odds for this fight, and they made me like a 3-1 dog. And I was like, call me a dog, because that's what I am. So,
those numbers have changed. Money was obviously coming in on you, because I think you are now a plus 150 on DraftKings. You're damn near even. So 2 weeks ago, I think you were a plus 250, something like that. And he was a minus 300 favorite. Now it's like you're plus 150 and he's like minus 200 or something like that. So people were like, the people that know the sport were like, oh fuck, Eddie's that. All right, well, let's put a couple hundred down on him for sure.
Yeah, they know where the money's at. But that stuff doesn't. I was a 3-1 dog against Dos Anjos when I fought for the world title. I thrive in them situations. I kind of don't like being the favorite. I don't like that expectation. So I'd rather shock and wow. I'd rather do something that people don't think I believe. I think I do better in them situations.
Now, we had Mike on here last week. We let him react to some of the people online. I feel like you guys, here's the thing. Combat sports fans, there's the super loyal ones, and then there's like the absolute fucking dickheads that like should just stop and not voice their opinions. And we threw a few of them up on the screen, and we let Mike react to the ones that were dogging him. What we want to do is I'm going to bring a couple, kind of like mean tweets on Jimmy Kimmel. I just want you to react to. Tell me what pops in your head when you read a comment like, say this one right here. B Jensen 19 says, "I'd put my house on Perry. This is his world." What do you got to say to a guy like B Jensen?
I'd say you're about to be fucking homeless. This guy don't give a shit about where he lives.
All right, Mike, you got this one. Here we go.
That reminded me of Lorenzo Hunt. When I talked to Lorenzo Hunt before he fought Mike Richmond, he said basically the same thing. He says, hope you all put your money on Richmond because you'll all be homeless.
Yeah, it's fucking perfect.
Here we go, Kyle.
Here we
Dallas Chack says, Perry going to beat the brakes off this old man. Jeez, how old are you?
39. I'm older in fight years, but that's impossible because I ain't got no brakes. I'm all gas, baby.
All gas, no brakes.
Gas.
He's all gas, Dallas.
Man,
Here we go. Number 3.
You're old. I'm geriatric.
All right, I don't know this guy's name, but Alvarez has clean striking. Does he have enough power to put down Platinum? Can't wait for this. So this guy was kind of respectful, but he's questioning your power. Do you have that power to put down Platinum?
Yeah, right now, even especially for this camp, my sparring partners are all over 200 pounds. Sparring Kid the Hawk, Kid Ali out of Chaos Boxing. He's 5-0 heavyweight, all knockouts. My sparring partners are all 200 and up. Another kid, Cody, out of another 7-1 or 8-1 pro record. Like just big boys throwing heavy shots, just getting used to kind of that style. But there ain't no one I can't put away. I land my shot, they're going down. I don't fuck if it's Mike Perry, you name it. I put down. I have an 80% finishing ratio against the most dangerous, violent, vicious fighters in the world. So Mike Perry ain't nothing but another body.
Here we go. These are great answers. 2 more. Platinum Perry sending Eddie to the hospital. says, I don't know.
Won't be the first time, won't be the last. I live in that. You think I give a fuck about being in a hospital? There hasn't been one fight night where I'm not in the hospital. Yeah.
Yeah, he lives. It's his second home. Here we go. Last one for you, Eddie.
Irish Bastard said 2.0. So there's another one. Eddie gonna get killed in the ring, and the guy's crying, laughing. Why is it so funny? I don't understand.
Yeah, no.
The disrespect is real.
That's just your typical fan. Fans got no imagination.
Eddie gonna get killed in the ring.
Yeah, man. So that was the last of those. We don't want to keep you too long. Everybody knows who you are. Everybody knows who Mike Perry is. We talked to Mike. We talked to you. You guys did, I don't know how many damn one-on-one face-off interviews.
Face-off after face-off.
I thought he was going to be on here tonight talking shit.
Nah.
He didn't want to fucking call in and say anything.
Hold on, let's get him on here.
Nah.
Surprise, here he is.
Nah, but before we let you go, Eddie, we always want to thank you for coming on here and giving us a little bit of your time. We'll see you next week in Salt Lake City. Yeah, any final words to the people that are out there that are going to be thinking about tuning in on December 2nd? What do you got to say about it?
No, I just appreciate everybody who followed the Underground King for this long. We're 20 years deep, and we got a history of violence, man. And look, these dog fights, I thrive in them. I love them, and they make me feel alive. That's why I'm still around. So just one more dog fight to do, and I'll get that strap December 2nd in Salt Lake City.
And then, are you going to have like a late Thanksgiving, or like, I can't imagine fighting 1 week after Thanksgiving because it's my favorite holiday. I like to eat like a fat fuck. Do you usually celebrate Thanksgiving with the family, or are you guys doing something small? And then
almost every year I fight around this time, around Thanksgiving. So I don't usually get to enjoy Thanksgiving. I usually give up my Thanksgiving so I can enjoy Christmas, New Year's, and that. Then I'll usually fight again around right before summer, and I'll enjoy my summer with my kids, my wife, my family. But that's usually my schedule.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Shout out to Get Shit Done, your sponsor, for hooking us up. We all had a nice little coffee together here. Boom. And we will see you next week, Salt Lake City, BKFC 56. Mike, you got anything else for Eddie?
Man, I cannot wait to get there and see this fight. I am hyped up. Everybody else should be. See you in Salt Lake. Take it easy, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Eddie.
Cheers, guys.
See ya. There he is, the Underground King, Eddie Alvarez.
Yes.
Awesome guy, awesome fighter, true legend in the sport of mixed martial arts and in combat sports alone. Like, as a whole, combat sports, everybody knows Eddie Alvarez's name. He's been there, done it all. Thank you to him for coming on. You want to go ahead and bring our second guest on right away, Mike?
Can we just do the sponsors real quick?
Yeah.
Real quick. We got to get these sponsors out because we did not shout them out at the beginning of the show, and they deserve a shout out.
They do deserve. HD, just hang in there for a minute with us. Mike, you need to get a fresh haircut. The holidays are coming up. Where you going?
Best Fades and Shaves in Cape Coral, Florida. You better get over there. Hey, maybe they'll give HD a cut before his fight. I mean, listen, certified shave and fade masters, J. Omar, Heather, and Naughty Nate down at 101 Del Prado, Cape Coral. You need to get over there and get your damn. Listen, you're walking around like a scrub, then you fucked up. All right, you better get over there, get a fade, get your hair done, look good. Okay.
There you go. You also need to get your asses over to the BK Bet Shark. He had a rough weekend last week, but you know what? This guy is a man of honor, and he posted his weekend. He broke even. He didn't make too much money this past weekend, but for the year, the dude has like a fucking 800, like a 800 win percentage right now. Oh, yeah. He's fucking raking in cash. So go over to @BK Bet Shark on the Instagram, click on his link, pay the $50, take his, follow his tutelage and watch your bank account stack. Yeah. Listen to the man. Money. We also got these guys right here, Mike.
Hey, dynamic life, weight loss, sexual health, anti-aging. Take back control of your life now. Go to www.livedynamic.com and become a patient in just 20 seconds. And check out the Dynamic Life Instagram page @Live Dynamic. That's live without an E, dynamic on Instagram.
Boom. There it is. That's our sponsors for the evening. Thank you very much to those guys for always supporting us. We're going to go ahead and bring in our second guest. He is going to be taking on Kai, the Outcast Stewart, for the 145-pound title on December 2nd, BKFC 56. This one makes us very happy because I feel like we put a little bit of effort into this one. Our boy from Broward County, Howard Davis. HD, what up?
What's up, man? Hey, you guys did a lot for this fight to make it happen. So pat yourselves on the back, man. I appreciate you guys for doing what you guys did because it definitely made it happen.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, listen, we love this sport. And we know what fights should be made. We follow it, and we love to see when the fights that should be made are made. And if we can help out in the process, that's what we do. Welcome back to the show.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
HD, I'm glad you gave us a little bit of your time. We know that you're dialed in. You're ready to do this one. We're going to cover a couple things with you, and we're not going to keep you all night. It is 10 days out from the fight. We know you're busy.
Yeah.
We got to talk to you about your opponent, Kai Stewart. You guys he's been making more of his rounds on podcasts than you have. You've been kind of laying low, which tells us that, you're healed and you're focused. When you were on the Bare Knuckle show the other day with Brian Sosha, he said it then. He said it on almost every podcast he's been on. He's always talking about you needing to fight top 5 fighters. What is he talking about there? Please clear that up for us, because you guys have both fought the same guys that were both in the top 5 when you fought them, in Rusty Crowder and Louis Lopez. So you have fought top 5 fighters, and so has he. What does he get? What is he trying to get? Is he just trying to stir the hornet's nest when he says things like that about you? And does it really fucking go up your ass sideways?
No, it's just an excuse, man. It's a way of him to duck and dodge me. I know he's seen like, I got to fight this dude for my first title defense, and that made him shake in his boots. So he was trying to fight everybody else he could try to fight. John Childbeck, who hasn't fought in years, told him it would be an honor to fight him. Like, did he fight somebody in the top 5? That knowing out of nowhere he wants to fight him, and it's like, you want to fight all these other guys, but you have me right here. The main person you was talking about calling out forever when I was number 1 ranked, saying that you're going to do this, you will beat me. And when it came time for that to happen, and you in my DM saying that I shouldn't have fought Louis, I should have fought him instead, that cut was BS, you get the title now. I'm like, well, my shot at, be a man of your word. And obviously Kai is an outcast for a reason. His own state don't even mess with him, because I guess he's two-faced or whatever. So that's the reason why I don't respect Kai, Respect him as a champion. He won a fight with Louis. He's won his fights against, his competition, and try to always throw digs at Florida fighters. Like, we pick our opponents, but like, you think I picked Jimmy Rivera? You think I picked Josh Wright? You think I picked Rusty Crowder as my first fight coming in? Like, you think I picked Louis Lopez after having a 6-month layoff from a major hand surgery? No, I didn't pick those guys. I got the contract, signed it, and fought those guys. Like, I just fought a dude at 155 that weighed in at 165, 10 pounds over, and probably weighed in even heavier the night of the fight, and I fought him. I don't duck and dodge and pick bums off the street who just got these bad records, because most of the people I fought, they have better MMA records than him or similar. So yeah, they may not be the best in BKFC and got the most wins, but if you compare my competition with his competition, my competition is better than his. So to always scream, you need a top 5 fighter to fight him. Like, who are you? Like, he isn't a top 5 fighter. Like, the fact that
Howard, the fact that you went the distance into a draw with Jimmy Rivera. Now, Jimmy Rivera may not have been in the top 5 because he was making his debut in the BKFC, but he was making his debut getting a guy like yourself because he fought all the best fighters in the UFC, and I think he holds wins over like Uriah Faber and Pedro Munoz and fucking guys like that, which are top level fighters. I can't imagine anybody would shit on the fact that you went to a draw with him, and then your one,
go ahead.
But then your one loss was a cut, so it's like you almost have a 7-0 record. One of those fighters being against a top 5 title contender in the UFC, and then one of them being a guy who he fought for the title. So, circumstances change just a little bit. If the circumstances change just a little bit, you're sitting at a 7-0 record, and you guys have already fought for a title. You know what I mean?
It didn't have to change though, man. That's trials and tribulations. God put me through it, and all blessings to God for doing that, because it showed me a lot. It made me change my style and adapt and fight smarter, use my length, use all the tools he's given me and the power he's giving me to go ahead and fight to the best of my ability. So, it didn't have to be different. I'll learn from my mistakes. It's not a loss if you learn a lesson from it, and that's just facts. So, as you said, you just said all those facts, and Kai neglects it. Like, you're an MMA guy, you should know who Jimmy Rivera is, and he tried to bring up the fact that I'm 6'2" and I fought Jimmy Rivera this time and third. Like, yo, there's pros and cons to being tall and shorter, and this guy has more experience than all of us combined in the 145 division, more wins than all of us. Like, he's a legitimate vet. Used to be former #1 contender in the UFC. Not, like, that's a big promotion, bro. And like you say, he fought top guys. I fought this dude with a busted ass fucking hand, bro. Legit busted hand. If you see my hand after the fight, ask him. Everybody knows my hand's messed up. Got the MRIs and everything, saying the doctor out his mouth, do not fight. I'm not that type of guy. I signed a contract. It was a big opportunity. I went out on a limb and I fought him hurt. And hey, we ended up in a draw. No knock to Jimmy. It was a great fight. If we ever get the running back, I love the running back because I feel like I know how to fight him now. Because one thing about it, that motherfucker was big, man. That was a refrigerator when I went in there. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but he barely made weight. He made, 146 flat, and it came in and out of the fight like 180. Kai has never fought nobody who knows how to do that, because, like, that's a UFC technique. Like, they know how to do that. They know how to blow up, so it's hard to move them. If you guys watch the fight, that motherfucker picked me up like I was a piece of paper, bro. So I understand height is good, but if you rehydrate the right way, bro, that man had power in his shots. So for him to think that he's going to hit me with anything harder than Jimmy did, or the 155ers that I done fought, like, yo, I went up in weight and I dominated. I'm ranked at 155 because I fought dudes that are game. Trevor Morris has a great MMA record, and he has kind of a similar style to Kai. Like, he takes all that away from me, and that's cool. He can be delusional, but the delusion ends on December 2nd when you step in that ring and you're face to face with me and you feel that energy and you just feel my presence. It's definitely going to be different, man. So I'm going to have to trash talk him, man. I'm going to state facts. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and I'm going to stand on that business come to December 2nd, man. I'm going to be the champ. I'm taking that belt, and then after that, anybody can get it.
Go ahead, Mike. What do you got?
Well, so when we went to Denver, and we maybe briefly touched on this a little earlier about the fight sort of being created, and I mean, you guys just kind of did it yourself. I think just the animosity that you have for one another, because I mean, naturally you're both in the same division. He has what you want, and he's standing right in front of you, and a little back and forth happened, and I have the video, and I'm going to play it real quick, and then we'll talk about it. All right, let's do this.
Kai Stewart, of course, he stands 15 feet across there. Do you have a direct message you want him to hear from 15 feet away? Maybe he can hear you.
Can he hear me?
Kai, stop running!
Oh, no, I'm not sure if you heard me. Oh, yeah, I think he did. Oh, he's smiling. Oh, that's cute.
All right, well.
Take a top 5 fight and then we'll start talking.
Fam, you're not a top 5 fighter. I will beat the shit out of you, bro.
You want to take the mic?
No, I want to take the belt.
Take the mic.
You're a paper champ, bro. Paper champ, bro. You sell tickets, that's it. I will beat you with this hand. This hand. No. Hey. Just this hand. You can't even fight right now. Hey, camera, just this hand. Just this hand. I will beat him with just this hand. It's my belt. It's mine. What?
All right. Let's go. We'll line this up. Don't worry. Let's get to Michael Mish. People's champ.
Well, I think we have a fight on our hands. BKFC 50 weigh-ins are in the books, but the fights aren't over. Kai Stewart, Howard Davis. I think we need to make this one happen. What do you think?
Right now.
That's twice tonight. We were just talking to Eddie. We had something similar happen, and boom, look at this. Now, this was like face to face. When that happened, what were you thinking?
It was lovely, man. I've been wanting to get my hands on him and that belt, man. Anything I touch is mine. I touch that belt, it's going to be mine. So he can do all the running he was doing and copping please, and you gotta fight this person, you gotta go fight Conor McGregor to fight me. Like, boy, who is you, boy? You nobody, man. I ain't saying you ain't nobody, you the champ of the 145 division right now. You the youngest BKFC champ. Congratulations, man. All respect to that. But it's my time. I had to reroute. God made me figure things out, took me a different path to get here now. I'm here, man. It's no more running. Like, we meet face to face very, very soon. And that's all that's been on my mind. He
So
think
Howard.
other stuff is on my mind, but it's not. I got one goal.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there he is.
Sorry, I got to call, guys.
That's all right.
So Howard, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Mike and I may have like purposely tried to start some shit there because we saw Kai doing an interview over there, and Mike was like,
Yeah.
"Yo, Kai's doing an interview right there. You should get Howard over here, do an interview, and then point him out and see what happens." And wow, presto!
No, I peeped
that
it.
shit happened.
It, man. I peeped it. I seen like the hand gesture and the communication. And I looked at my manager, Victor
Let's go.
Demesman, which that man came into my life and has been a great help to everything I'm trying to do, get the title, match, everything he said he was gonna do, he's done, man. And he has a great
I love that.
like communication and relationship with BKFC. So a lot of big things coming from the All In agency. That's my agency that I'm signed with. We taking
Nice.
over. So hey, one fighter at a time, one championship belt at a time. We about to be the next big thing. Trust me.
Yeah. And you
love
know
that.
what? For everyone watching too, it's not just like, yeah, we got you over there too, but Kai, we've hung out with Kai at like the after party the last time we were in Denver, and he's game. He wants to fight. So like, we hear it from you, we hear it from Kai, we hear it from you, we hear it from Kai. Like, these guys got to fight each other. This enough is enough already, right? You got to fight.
Yeah.
Love it. I love it.
Damn, the energy just changed though. It just sucked because one minute he wanted to fight me so bad. The dude was probably mentioning and atting me on Instagram every other day, and that just completely stopped when he became champ. Same thing with Louis. Louis got his gifted win. I had hit him up for probably months, asking for my rematch, and my fans hitting him up, and now it's like, oh yeah, Howard, you gotta wait in line, saying all this, all of that. Like, bro, I gave you an opportunity, bro. You was 1-1. You came into BKFC, fought an opponent I beat, unanimous decision, got your jaw broke, so you 0-1. You fight one dude, a small dude, barely beat him, came back with a great win, cool. Now you 1-1. I didn't have to fight you, bro. You wasn't ranked. You wasn't nobody. They could have. That's what I'm saying. So it's different from me and then them. Like, I was coming back off the injury. I could have been like, no, I don't want to fight this dude. He's high on himself. It could have been a difficult fight. He's fresh off a win, whatever the case may be. I looked at that contract. I signed that shit, bro. Like, I don't care who it is. It's getting signed, bro. I don't fear no man but God. So everybody in the division think that there's somebody and they're this and they got this, that, and the third. That's cool, man. We all men at the end of the day. And trust me, I'm doing what y'all doing and more. So I want it way more than you guys think that you guys want it. Like, I don't care what you guys say, what's motivating you. We all doing it for a purpose, but man, I'm telling you, I'm on a different level and I'm going to show that, bro. I'm going to show that.
We're going to talk about your division in a second. You have this fight in front of you. The hand. Let's talk about the hand. The hand is fully healthy. How are you feeling? Like, how have you adapted to with the hand healing and now back in training and talk about your training right now, coming off the hand injury, getting ready for this title fight. What are you doing in particular that's different?
The hand is bionic. I'm like the Black Iron Man. Like, yo, I'm Howard Starks. Like, people gotta understand, my fist is going through his face. So the training didn't much change, to be honest. I've just been getting smarter with placing my shots. Like, everything doesn't have to be power. Everything doesn't have to, be so devastating. I'm picking my shots and I'm going to break people down slowly. And when it's time to detonate that, that dynamite on somebody's face, that's just going to be it. But the best thing about it, guys, is that it's both hands. Like, I've always had power in both hands. People sleep on that. So you think too much about the right, you got to say hi to lefty, and lefty will put you to bed. So it's like the training has just been lit. I've been sparring fine, no injuries, no aches. My doctor, Dr. David Shanasa. He did my first hand surgery after the Jimmy Rivera fight, and he did this surgery too. He's great, man. Like, I didn't have to do physical therapy after I got the screw put in. Nothing, man. Like, I had the cast on, got it off, got medically cleared, and it's been straightforward, man. Like, that's David and that's God, man. That's all I can say. Like, the title shot came into fruition, and I'm truly blessed for the opportunity that BKFC has given me. You know, my manager going out, Nelson going out his way, everybody going out their way, you guys going out your way to help me get this shot because I deserve it, and I've been deserved it. I've been fought my way up the ranks and fought whoever was in front of me to be where I'm at now. So I'm just thankful, man.
I think you had Nelson a little nervous that night. To be honest, he was in the video.
Yo,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But are you aware that Howard Stark is Tony Stark's father's name?
Oh yeah, I am. It's crazy.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know if that was like no pun intended. I guess I'll
Yeah,
say
I
that.
didn't know if you knew that or not. Now, have you brought in anybody new into your training camp to help you get ready for this one, or is it same team, same?
Oh my God, I've sparred so many great like fighters. I've sparred Mike Perry for my first spar coming back, and that shit was
Nice.
lit. That dude's a tank. Like he has like I don't know what he has in his head. He has like still in his head because he doesn't move, bro. Like he's just a warrior. So getting that look from him, you know, he got technical skills, and then he just comes forward, and he's obviously bigger than me. So if I can take a hit from Mike Perry, I can take a hit from him, anybody in the 145, whether it's with gloves or without, because it's not a big, huge difference from bare knuckle and like actually getting hit with some gloves. Like it's still power, it's still there. You still have to take that shit on the chin, eye, whatever. But man, I sparred some dudes at my gym in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. One of the best amateur and pro gyms at Carter Park. I've been sparring some of their undefeated pros, and it's just been great work, man. I've went down to Miami. I sparred some Olympians. Man, I've been getting some
Yeah.
work. I sparred some MMA dudes from the GOAT Shed. Like whatever Kai's thinking about me not being focused and prepared, and this can be detrimental and all this stuff. I'm worried about Louis and Brian. Like I don't know if he knows this. Like yo, I have like a picture on my wall, and I wake up every day and I look at Kai and I punch right through it every day. And I've been doing that for a month straight. I have a picture in the shower. I hook it every time I get inside the shower. I have a picture in my car on the horn. I blow the horn every time I'm driving. Listen, Kai is nonstop in my like I told you guys online. I don't know if you guys seen the interview I did with BKFC, but it's like a viper, man. I see him. I got to seek my fangs into him. Like I want his heart. I want that belt. So I'm going to get that belt. I don't know what he think he's going to do, what pressure that he think he's going to apply, or you know what training he think he's been doing that's better than what I've been doing. It's not going to work, man. That's all I like. I promise you guys, man. Like I'm on another level right now, like mentally and like physically. Like I'm on some timing right now, guys, and I promise it's going to be my best performance. My best performance.
Man. So we're going to Salt Lake City. We're going to be there. You're going to be there. The fight happened in Denver, and something is unique about Denver and Salt Lake City, the elevation.
Yeah.
Right. Every time someone fights in elevation, we bring it up all the time. Some people, it's a big deal. Some people say it's not a big deal. What do you think?
I'm different. God is by me, all around me. He's showed me things and prepared me for this moment. I don't care if we was in the elevation of heaven. I'm going to be prepared for it. I'm going to be ready. Trust me, guys. Like nothing he think is going to harm me or put me at a disadvantage is going to work. Like I'm prepared in a lot of ways that he may not be on social media posting his work and stuff like that. And trust me, that's a lot that I don't post that you guys don't know about. But trust me, we're prepared, man. My management team all in has made sure that Victor Demesman, Nelson, everybody around me, my team has made sure that no stone is left unturned. And I'm telling you guys just don't know, but it's a lot going on in the workings, man. We playing chess, man, and it's been checkmate for a long time.
Jeez, I cannot wait for this fight.
Dude,
I cannot wait for this card, the fight. There's so many good fights. This one's a big one. I don't think that the casual fan understands what they're getting into with this card, which is a great thing because they're coming here, and no offense, we all know this. they see the top build fights on there, and they're coming to see the Mike Perry fight. You know, they want to see Eddie Alvarez. Yes.
Shout out to Mike Perry, man. That's my dude. My dude, like 1% black, and I swear he my brother.
The Nigerian Nightmare. Is that what we call him? Is that what it is?
He's so funny.
Platinum P.
Yeah. So, but the thing is that people are going to see these fights, the quote unquote true bare knuckle fighters, the ones that have been fighting in this sport, the ones that were, you know, and Mike's there now too. He's fought a bunch of times too. But like, you get what I'm saying. Like, people are going to go there. They want to see these marquee fights. They're going to see the fights with the fight with you in it. They're going to see Christine Faria throw down with Beck. It's absolutely
Arnold Adams and Mick Terrell.
Arnold Adams and Mick Terrell. These are
crazy.
bare knuckle fighters that people are going to see showcased here in Salt Lake City. And I can't even believe this card is absolutely fantastic. We talked about BKFC 41 earlier with Eddie Alvarez, which is insane. But like, take a look at this. Take a look at that. How does it feel to be on a banner with these names? Did you ever imagine this?
Hey, I can't tell you how I imagine it, but I always had faith. I kept my faith in God, and He's led me on this path, and this path has become my sole purpose of getting me and my family to a better life. So I'm thankful for Dave Feldman, Nate Shook, everybody, you know, who had a part in making this card happen and put me on the card, man. Like all the podcasts, you know, Brian, Social, you guys, everybody, man. Like just everybody, bro. Like I'm greatly appreciative of you guys.
Mike, bring the banner one back up for a second. I just want to say something. Howard, you look at this one, right? This is insane, incredible to look at. You're on there about to fight for a world title, but there's a fight on the card that did not make it onto this poster right here that you should be super, super fucking interested in. And it is oh yeah, and it is Jeremy Stephens and Jimmy Rivera. Now, the fact that those guys aren't even on the marquee is bananas to me. But Jeremy Stephens is a heavy-handed, hard-hitting MMA veteran. Yeah. He is the guy that was on stage when they asked Conor McGregor who's the hardest hitter in 145. He was like, I am right here. And Conor said, who the fuck is that guy? You remember that?
Oh,
that was him.
That's him.
Oh, that's him. Oh,
that was him. Yes, he was the who the fuck is that guy. So that's him. But honestly, and I don't know if they would ever do this. Hopefully, I mean, if you win this one, maybe a fight with Brandon Allen is.
Ain't no ifs. It's happening.
Okay.
It's happening.
When it comes to fruition, next in line, I don't see a rematch with Louis making too much sense. Brandon Allen makes sense.
Yes, he does. Respect to Brandon Allen, man. He's worked his way up. He fought his ass off. He got Seth out of there. I respect Brandon Allen so much, man. I wouldn't mind having a dance with him.
But Jimmy Rivera and you went to a draw.
Unfinished business.
And we talked about his resume. And him and Jeremy Stephens both have names and resumes that could jump a top 5 for a title shot. If they went out there and they put on a show in Salt Lake City and you go out there and win yourself a title, you know, sometime in early 2024, February, March, April timeframe, you could be defending your title against one of those two guys that fight on that same night, December 2nd. Your thoughts?
Man, that'd be dope. It'd be a great opportunity, man. Like, I don't know too much about the other dude, Stephens, but you know, obviously he's a vet from the UFC. You say he has power, he has his own skill, and all respect to him, you know. But once I get that belt, they can come together. I can fight him the same night. I'm not saying none of that shit. It's one thing to be in the UFC hitting hard, and you got that. But hey, I come from a boxing background. I come from a street background. I'm gonna show you guys December 2nd. I'm different, and I'm only gonna keep elevating, man. And if somebody want to come take the belt, and you know they feel like they can, and they step up to the plate. I'm not, you know, anybody that they sign up for, and you know, make sure you know what you're signing up for. That's all I gotta say.
I would say, so if you're not familiar with Jeremy Stephens, I would say he is very much cut from the same cloth as a Mike Perry, Eddie Alvarez type guy, like ultra violent,
dope.
Yep.
Not afraid to get real bloody and nasty in there.
Dying a sword, not a shield type.
Dying a sword, exactly.
Respect. Hey, one thing about it, I'm the same type. You see the cut with Louis, you see the weird punches he landed, hit me on the side of my head bleeding. Doctor asked him if I'm okay. I'm good, man. Let's go. You got to take me out. There's no No, there's no quit in me, man. I've never been a quitter at anything, never in life. No sport. I don't quit on like people I love. I'm going hard in anything that I do, and I put my soul into it. Understand that you have to knock the soul out my body to make me stop, and that's not happening.
I can't wait for this goddamn fight. Last thing, we're gonna let you get out of here in a second. We got one more guest coming on tonight. Howard, thank you so much for your time. Before we let you go,
Yeah.
we're gonna give you a minute to address one last thing, and then you can let everybody know why they should tune in December 2nd. Kai Stewart was on the weekly bus. Shout out to those guys the other day. He
Shout out
said
to
he
Weekly
will
Bus.
sleep HD. I will put you to sleep December 2nd. Tell me your thoughts when you hear Kai Stewart say that, and then let them know why they should tune in December 2nd, and then we'll let you get out of here.
The real question here is who has Kai put to sleep?
Good question.
I'm just trying to so why would a guy like me get put to sleep by a guy like him? I'm not taking him lightly, anything like that, but you don't have that in you to put other people that's lower than me to sleep. So how are you magically just gonna snap your fingers and put me to sleep? I mean, it seems like it's way more of a probability that I put his ass to sleep and he wakes up in a Montana hospital. But hey, you're a champion. You got to have confidence. You can be a little delusional or drunk, but let's be realistic here, guys. Kai putting me to sleep, I don't see it happening. But hey, as I say, you're a champion. Got to respect it. You're going to have your opinion, but man, that's hearing shit like that almost put me to sleep. But him physically putting me to sleep ain't happening, man. Not in a million damn years, bro. I've been hit by people off guard. I've been jumped. I've been hit by grown men 200 pounds bigger than this dude. Put me to sleep. I've never been put to sleep, and it ain't happening. Not in this lifetime.
There it is. Everybody, if you are not fired up for this fight, you need to go back. You need to check the social media back and forth between these two. You got to get yourselves ready, because this one is a bare knuckle fans, secret fucking main event. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the spotlight fights, and then you got this one and the other two title fights. These title fights are fantastic.
Yes,
we can't wait to see
they
it,
are.
Howard. Thank you so much for your time tonight. Have yourself a good Thanksgiving. I don't know if you can do anything big tomorrow, but Mike, you got anything else for him?
Hey,
God bless you guys. Happy holidays, for real.
Very last thing, February 18th, Knucklemania 3. We knew this was supposed to happen. I took this picture.
That picture.
We knew it. We could not wait for it. It is finally going to happen. We are going to see this. Everybody make sure that if you don't have the app, get it. December 2nd in Salt Lake City, HD Davis is going to be challenging Kai Stewart for the title. Featherweight Championship. Let's get it, man. I cannot wait. We will see you there next week. And thank you so much for coming on the show, man. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, man. Hey, guys, God bless you. See you guys next week. Get ready.
All right, we'll see you next week, bud.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Later, man.
There he is, Howard HD Davis. Man, I swear to God, the build-up for that one between those two guys, they've done a good job firing that one up. It is it is a fantastic fight between two homegrowns for sure. And I can't wait for that one, Mike. I'm super excited.
I cannot wait for this card. I can't wait for all these fights, especially the one that the fighter that we're going to talk to next. He's in a fight with somebody that I didn't think we'd ever see in BKFC. And boom, here we are. We're a week away.
We're going to bring him on here because I want to ask him something. He is an absolute fucking monster, and I'm a little scared for my belly when I get out to BKFC 56. Here we go. Let's bring him on. Big Ben, the King of Kenosha himself, Ben Rothwell. What's up, buddy?
All right.
Hey.
Ben. What's up, dude? Correct me if I'm wrong. You're fighting Todd Duffee on December 2nd. Were you originally supposed to fight him on December 3rd, 2022? Wasn't that a name that was getting tossed around for you a year ago?
For December 3rd?
Last year. I want to say Todd Duffee was being talked about. That last fight card, the last card of the year for 2022 was supposed to have Todd Duffee on it, and I thought you were supposed to possibly be on it as well, but you ended up not fighting, and you ended up waiting all the way till Knucklemania
in
3.
February. Yeah.
I could be wrong about that, but I was pretty sure.
Yeah, I had my first fight in October. So the 2-month turnaround, nothing was really said.
No.
I didn't really hear anything until a couple months after that. Until like beginning like January, February. There was talks about, the big April card was getting put together.
Oh,
And
maybe it was
there was names for the April card.
So, maybe it was the April card that I'm thinking of. Was he a possible opponent for Knucklemania 3?
Yeah, you guys might have heard something in December.
Yeah.
Because it kind of came to me not long after. So I mean, obviously things were getting talked about.
Yeah.
And and now he's fighting me now, so it's like he's been in the mix, so to speak. He was someone I was supposed to fight in April. I think I misquoted and said something about last year. I meant for the April card.
Now, Ben, so there's something weird going on here. We talked about, and I don't want to bring up weight classes at all, but you are no longer in the rankings for heavyweight, which made us think that they must be introducing that super heavyweight division that we had talked about in the past. You getting taken out of the heavyweight rankings made us think, oh, this is it. He's going to end up fighting somebody in the super heavyweight division, and that's going to be a super heavyweight division, featuring Ben Rothwell. But Todd Duffee is not a super heavyweight, right? This is a heavyweight fight. Is it?
I don't know. Whoever makes the rankings is who we have to ask, and I don't know who. I really don't know who it is who does it, and I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't notice. Like it was just coincidence. I happened to be looking at things and seeing the rankings, and they had me ranked like second. Really, I went for something like that, second or third. But anyway, my name was on there. It was high on the list. It was like Arnold Adams and Belcher and me. It was like we were right there. And then all of a sudden I was off. I was just like, am I still with you guys? Like, what's going on? And then
right. What's weird about it, Ben, is
the brass more or less told me that he said we don't, we're out of that, and you're fighting. And I just said okay, just relax. And I said okay, and I'm fighting.
I love it, man.
I really don't know much else. I just, like I said, they asked me at the press conference, title fight. It's awesome for me. It's very motivating that lots of people are asking for it because that's what needs to happen. But as far as it happening, it has to be out of my mind. I have no control over it. I suspect other things could even happen after this fight. It's just the way you have to take it. I know that I have a test in front of me for December 2nd, and somebody that thinks they're better and they're coming into this fight to take me out, take me on, and I have to defend that. I have to defend myself, and I have to show the world how good I am at defending myself.
Now, Todd Duffee, like I said, me and Mike, we actually talked to Todd Duffee like a year ago, and we thought we were going to see him a lot sooner. He's an interesting opponent for you because he's not the biggest heavyweight in the world. He is a big dude. He has power. And earlier in his MMA career, he was flashing that power left and right with knockouts and stuff. But in his recent years in MMA, he hasn't been as successful as his early days. What are your thoughts on this, like the newer version of Todd Duffee, and what are you expecting out of him December 2nd?
I'm not sure. I only, know so much. You have what you have on film, and you see what you see of him and kind of his past and what he's went through. And I just try to take out like any of that. It's like he is, this person that's going to stand across from me, and the idea is you make him worry about what I'm going to do, not me worried about what he's going to do, so to speak. It's really we're clashing because he feels the same way. He kind of thinks everything the same way, and that's just how it has to be. Like that's what creates the fight, this clash. And both of us really are not saying too much. He really got asked and pushed. He goes, I can't reveal that. You got to wait till the fight. So it's just like, obviously we don't want to talk about actual techniques and skills. It's just, you have two powerful, world-class heavyweights. That alone sells the fight. We know it.
I mean, he's coming in there with that Thor look now too. I mean, he's trying to win the ladies over at the same time.
You like that? You know, you've been talking to ladies, or it's just you like it too?
Listen,
Well,
I had to talk my wife
well.
down a little bit. I was like, "Hey, relax, okay?"
Calm down, will you?
Oh man. Hey, so are you gonna punch my stomach through my spine when I get out there? Good. What do I got? I got to start doing some crunches right now, heading before I get out there.
Crunches aren't going to matter.
For those who don't know what Kyle's talking about, I believe, was it last week
was
on
Bones to
Bones to Domes, Ben Rothwell was on there, and Kyle was in the chat, and he said, hey, I'm going to take all of you on when I get into Salt Lake City. And Ben Rothwell was like, well, I'm going to take you up on that as soon as I see you. So Kyle looked up some kind of defense techniques, and he came up with this weird book vest thing that he's going to have to build up.
Prison
I don't
style.
think it's going to work, though.
So that's what really started. Like, it was like more or less just we were just having fun, just talking.
Yeah.
And then you sent that you're gonna wear the body armor. Okay, now it's on.
No, man, please don't.
I think it'll be worse with the books on, personally.
Yeah.
I might really suck.
No. You need to focus on Todd Duffee, not me. Come on now. Like I got kids. I don't know if he has. He might have kids. What the fuck am I talking about? I want to go home to mine.
Yeah, I mean, the first problem is if there was any sort of worry on my end, like that would be a problem in itself. So don't worry. Tell you not to worry because it'll be on site.
I will have the camera rolling at all times. So, yep, just, you see me there, we're good to go.
If you walk around with the vest of books on, I'd be like, okay, like you took care of it for me. I don't have to...
If he comes with a thing of vests on, they probably won't even let him in. I think a vest of books on.
It would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
So what Big Ben didn't realize is when I said I wanted to fight Big Ben, I was talking about the fan that's always in the comment section. I wasn't talking about you. No, I'm just fucking around. Salt Lake City, man.
The other Big Ben's aggressive too, so you better be careful.
He's very aggressive. Aggressive.
He's fucking enormous too. So neither one of you guys both earned the nickname Big Ben. That's for sure. Yeah, Big Ben's a good dude. Have you ever fought out in Salt Lake City? You been out there?
No.
In
fact, I've never even been in the city. Denver is the area I'm most used to, especially with elevation, things like that, and spent quite a bit of time there over the years. Salt Lake City, I went there for the first time, and I was impressed with it. It's actually like 1,200 feet less than elevation technically, but the city itself was very clean and nice, and it's a place I like to go back to. Obviously, I'm going there for the fight. I'm busy, but it's a place where, I think I'd like to come back to after the fact.
So you were checking it out a little bit while you were out there for the press conference, you're saying?
That's the point. Barely. I just seen enough. Literally just through the airport already caught my attention. They got very clean airports, really nice, it's modern, well kept. And those are right there just going to, okay, like the people behind the city, like take care of things. And you get a first vibe from it. And then once I actually got into the city, you just seen it. It seems like just cleaner than normal, at least in the Midwest, Looks like they're doing a better job in the Midwest, so to speak. But I've been to the East Coast cities and just big cities in general. You just kind of get that feel. It's just they're dirty. It's the way it is. And
oh yeah, thanks.
The city kind of just feel. I got a feeling. Maybe there's parts of like, oh, check out this part. I think every city has their part, so to speak. But it was really cool for me just to get there. Just checked out the arena. Just driving through, kind of checking it out as I was passing through and just looking around. And it seemed like an interesting place. And then they said, for things to do, it's just there's an abundance of things to do there too. So those are all exciting things. It's more than I got going on here, so to speak.
See, the East Coast, like you said, is filled with like piss-soaked subways and shitty bridges and dog shit drivers. You know what I mean? Like we live there, so we get it. We get
yeah.
Like you pay money for gas, and I was like, I just said thank you to the clerk just out of like this is what we do. I open the door for people. I try to be grateful and thank people. And when you do those things there, like I try to open the door for somebody in the East Coast, or I try to say things like that, and they look at me like I'm crazy, or almost get like angry. And I'm like, damn, like it's rough here. And you just kind of see it's a very like push everybody get out of my way, you know, and kind of mentality. And yeah, it sucks.
It's when people say, "Oh, from the mean streets," it's the Northeast, because everybody's fucking mean. Everybody's in a bad mood right now. Is the worst time to like start going out to places. So like during the day, if you're gonna go into a supermarket or like you say, you go to a gas station, whatever, it's starting to get cold here, right? And people start getting fucking mad for no reason at all. They just walk around with a chip on their shoulder throughout the entire, at the end of the fall, through all the way through the winter and even the beginning of the spring. People are just pissed off all the time. It's crazy. It's nothing. It's not like
you gotta have thick skin, right? You gotta have some thick skin.
Oh my
Otherwise, you're gonna be really upset and mad with them.
You know what I always say to, like, when Mike and I are at work and we got like these soldiers that work with us that are in their 20s and 30s now, right? They'll be like, oh, I fucking hate it up here. I fucking hate it. I'd be like, you want to know something that's kind of crazy? You're a fucking adult. You can move, you know. You could choose to pack up your shit and move to a different area of the country. It's up to you to do that, but you don't. You stay up here in the Northeast, so just fucking live with it. You know what I mean? That's how I try to, mold these young soldiers, but they don't realize that we have options here as Americans. If we want to move to Florida, you could move to Florida. You want to move to Salt Lake City, move to Salt Lake City, but you just stick around the Northeast. So shut the fuck up. Right?
Try to, for sure, it doesn't matter where you're at. You know, if you can put positive energy first, you're going to be better off.
Yeah.
I know people, the craziest thing is go on a vacation to Hawaii or something like that, which is like, to me, that's like paradise type weather. And I like being there. It's easy to relax. And you go to a place like that and see somebody that's just mad to be mad or upset and negative, and that's all they care about. You just kind of look at it and like, it doesn't matter where you are. If you're negative, you're negative. And you're going to bring bad upon you. And I'm there, and just being there makes me happy. So it's like, whatever, I don't care. I'm happy. I'm here in this place. Well, if I can act like that everywhere, it'd be that. It's tough when you get up and it's a gray sky, rain, it's like that little bit of rain, just enough to like annoy everything. And, it's just like, as soon as you get up and look at that, you're like, yeah, it kind of could set you off into a bad path. Now, if you just could look at it and be like, man, all the vegetables, the trees and everything are getting watered right now, and the flower, everything, the grass is everything feels better, and it's going to grow and give me more oxygen. Trick your brain and be positive, and you live better. It's crazy.
Well, I love that. And we're heading out to Salt Lake City and thinking positively. You go out there and you perform like you have been in the BKFC, and you get another win against Todd Duffee. Are your intentions to stick around and fight as many times as BKFC will have you? Are you eyeing, like, I know you mentioned a title and people keep asking you about a title. There's a title fight on that card with Arnold Adams and Nick Terrell. Is that something that you have your eye on? Is there any other heavyweights out there that interest you right now? What's up with the future of Big Ben?
A lot of it is unknown, right? A lot of it is out of my control. And we said December 2nd, like, obviously a performance matters, but first day I do what I've been doing, which I expect, you expect. I go out and do what I'm doing. I would be excited to be able to fight for their title, for the BKFC heavyweight title. I'd be proud, and it'd be a big deal for me because I think I could help bring the heavyweight division up. I would just saying, this is what my intentions are. I'd like to go to more of the shows. I'd like to get out there again because I feel like that was really able to make a difference when I did it before. And it's been a while, it's been a while, but having the BKFC strap would be a reason to get out there and do something and elevate it. And I'm a guy that's willing to take on all challengers. I think for the organization that's good as the heavyweight champ, I would try to be as healthy and ready as quickly as I could and give it a good go here for the time that I got left,
I love that. I love that answer. And because I don't know if you were watching earlier, but about BKFC and the personalities that are in it, the fighters and their stature, right? So we have Mike Perry, who he gets paid good money. He is very popular. He fights in a division where there is a champion. However, he's not going to fight that champion because of all the things I just said. And the same thing is happening with Eddie Alvarez, who we talked to earlier. Palomino wants to fight him, but he's like, I'm not really sure if I'm going to do it because I don't want to take a pay cut or I don't want to do this or whatever. And the sport is like growing faster than the fighters in it, so to say, right? You know what I mean? So I like to hear when someone like yourself says something like that because we, the sport, need people like you who have a name to be able to go out and if and when you win that belt and you walk around with it and you show people and you're the voice for the sport, like the more people who do that, the sport will just continue to grow and grow and grow. And sure, it grows in many different ways, but to have somebody like yourself go around and put that out there and people see you, they're like, oh my God, Ben Rothwell, he's a champion over there. Oh my God, I better start watching this. That's what I love to see. That's what fans of the sport want to see, you know?
Awesome. I appreciate it. That everything you described is like, that's a motivation for me. Like, that's a reason. It means something. It's more than just money and fame. Like, no, usually getting those things, but I'm able to do a lot more by being with the people. And honestly, it's why the only reason I probably could have retired several years ago, but when I came to BKFC, it's really changed just this short bit of time with 2 fights. The last fight especially, man, being in Denver and the embrace I got and the way the fans reach out to me, it's like a motivation that I miss, and it's getting to a level. I think I could take it to a level that I've never had before, and that excites me. What could I become if I could get it to that level?
Yeah.
It's like I mentioned with Eddie earlier, the title ambassador, like somebody like yourself and like him holding a belt in this organization would do so fucking much for it. It really would. And I feel like you would be willing to be one of those ambassadors for the sport because it is so new. You do have Lorenzo Hunt out there doing it. Like Lorenzo Hunt is one of those guys that's been there since the ground floor. He has a belt and he makes it a point to get to every single goddamn event that he possibly can to try to spread the word. But let's be honest, Lorenzo isn't really known outside of the world of bare knuckle. So he is trying his hardest to go around to all these different cities and spread the word, but nobody really. They're starting to, but
at this point, he's probably the biggest homegrown name to come from bare knuckle. But it's still there's still like a margin, you know, between the
you guys,
UFC fighters and
the word crossover, right? Like a crossover name, like you and Eddie and Mike have, is different than a Lorenzo trying to be an ambassador for the sport, you know.
But to him, outside of he's Lorenzo on the hunt. Like, you have to give it to him. He's
great
doing it.
I love it. He's great. He is absolutely awesome for the sport.
He's aggressive with it.
He has been the busiest guy, the busiest fighter on their roster for as long as Mike and I have been covering it, since February 2020, when we covered our first event to now. He's at every fucking, if maybe not every one of them, he's at 95% of the events that we go to. If he's not on the card fighting, he's there and he's interacting with the fans. He's taking pictures with the belts and the whatever, and he's doing everything he can to try to grow it as much as he can. But within the sport, he's a star. Outside of the sport of bare knuckle, he doesn't have the drawing power yet that someone like yourself and Eddie and those guys do have. So, I mean, for you to say that you want to grab that belt and, take it to the next level with these guys is pretty fucking awesome.
Awesome. I mean, that's how I feel about everything you said as well. And, December 2nd, it's a big night for us, and it's about going out and performing.
Yeah, the people in the chat love it too. And like Joe Ivy says, Ben feels like he's closer to the fans since coming to BKFC. And I cannot agree more with that. I don't know. We didn't know you. I watched you fight in UFC, but we never talked to you before. So going to the BKFC events, I do see that though. I see like, I don't know. It's just like almost like a love for the community, if that makes sense.
I feel that way about combat sports in general. I'm embraced by the BKFC fans where I'm at. This is what's building it, and it's incredible. I want to. That's what I said. I'm willing to put myself to more for them. But I get it still from the fans of them may have followed, and just combat sports in general has been a big thing for me, especially this whole, camp and just interviews up to this fight. I just keep beating home that it's become international. That's one of the coolest things. It's not just fans that are still stopping me on my own hometown for photos and things like that, which is still amazing to me. But, when I leave and travel and just like getting stopped in the public and things like that, it's picked up and it's changed. And I really started to notice, I'm like, this is an international thing. The whole world's together in on it. And when I got asked about other combat sports, what do you think about the YouTubers doing boxing? What do you think about Karate Combat and these other organizations of things? I said it's combat sports, really. And they're bringing eyes to everything. Even though they, you get these group of people that are, especially the younger generations watching some boxing match. And if they get excited and like it, do you think that there's an chance there now that they're more likely to watch BKFC or some other kind? And it's like, of course it is. It's creating an interest of combat sports. We're all together in on it.
Yep.
And we're kind of feeding that people enjoy MMA, right? Because it's proven, it's become the biggest entity of combat sports. It's really brought combat sports back to the international page again. But sometimes the average people get a little bit bored with it hits the ground and the way the fights can be drawn out and things of that nature. While we get some of those people say, what is this BKFC? What are these things that are seeing just knockouts and constant action on the feet? And let's be honest, the average person that's considering it like knockouts. It's what people understand. People love it. It draws even the people that don't know anything see it and they understand that. They understand a knockout.
Oh yeah,
it's how we build fans, and now we get more people. We got more talented people doing it, showing it off. That we're getting more people around the world watching it, and that whole thing. Sorry, I'm just rambling about it. It's just like this has been a really big motivating factor to me as well. I'm a part of it.
Ben, what you just said is perfect. We have Mike and I try to get as many people as we can to watch the sport because over the last 3 years while we've been covering it, the amount of people that like bare knuckle fighting, like what is that?
Yeah,
I'm like it's bare knuckle boxing basically, but dirty boxing is involved, and the way we pitch it to those guys and girls are exactly what you just said. You don't need to know shit about jiu-jitsu, grappling, wrestling, any of that shit. All you need to know is how to watch two guys or two women with their wrists wrapped and their knuckles exposed box each other
just
in a circle ring, punching each other for 5 2-minute rounds. Anybody who's had a sibling in their life has thrown a punch at someone or taken a punch in their life. Anybody who's been in a high school that gets a little rough has been in a fist fight in their life. It's the most relatable combat sport of all the combat sports.
To the everyday human.
The everyday guy. How many times a day do you think about punching somebody in the damn face with a bare hand?
Yeah, all the time.
A couple times a day at least, right? It's just a natural thing. And people get to go see an organized, well-produced organization put it on at the highest level. And now we just saw it this past weekend. They were in Bulgaria and Leeds. And now we're back to the United States in Salt Lake City. They were in Thailand 2 weeks before that. You said worldwide, you ain't shitting, man. They're going to have tryouts in Canada next couple weeks. They're going to be in Puerto Rico next year. They're going to be in Mexico next year. They've already announced all this shit. So not only is it worldwide, but it is also the most relatable sport in the world. So the sky's the limit, I would think. Blow it up, man.
You just dropped the bomb. You just really finished it for me for sure. Grand slammed it.
Thank you. And one thing about a guy like yourself, and Lorenzo and Luis Palomino, and like you guys have character and flair in the pageantry of selling a product. You couldn't do that in other MMA organizations, but here you could come out dressed like a Sith Lord. Lorenzo Hunt could come out with a fucking juggernaut standing behind him. Luis Palomino could come out dressed like a samurai with a sword in his hand with big drums going on behind him. So there is like a bit of show, almost like old school pride, almost like old school pride freedom to show off a little bit before you step in the ring and throw hands.
So that leaves an opportunity that's one thing. It's just like that's just little, just stuff we put together on our own. If I do a good enough job that I can get the production behind me to invest a little bit into an actual walkout,
Yeah.
then I feel like I achieved something. So I got goals too. I got goals that just above. It's like if I could do enough that they're willing to hear me out and put an investment in it, I'll show you a cool entrance.
Oh, I think they will. I think they would do it. I think they would work with you. I wouldn't doubt that you would have to do 85% of the work probably to get it together, but I'm sure they would allow it and help you with lighting and this and that. I know because we've seen it, we've seen people do some pretty cool and incredible walkouts. And I think that is another part of BKFC that's fantastic because they allow that. I do love it. I really do. I am so passionate about it. I know Kyle is, and obviously you're in there, we're just the voices, but you're the fighter. You're doing everything. It's just, you know what? I know people are watching right now. They love it. It's a sport that I cannot wait to see where it's at in, 3 years, 5 years from now. I just cannot wait.
Ben, can I pull it? So can I ask you this? Megan says maybe they should start some training classes for BKFC in local gyms. You own a gym. Do you have people coming in to your gym asking if they can train specifically for bare knuckle fighting? Now, obviously you're not going to have people sparring with no gloves on or anything like that, but are you teaching techniques that are fit more for the bare knuckle game than like regular MMA or typical boxing? For that question there, being a gym owner, are there people coming in there and asking if they could get into this, and could you teach them the bare knuckle game?
I could put a class together that focused on it. If I was located somewhere else, maybe we could have that kind of walk up and interest for it. But right now, the only it's just a few of the guys that are on my fight team. Like 20 guys, I've had like 3 of them be like, I want to do that, and they're the guys that are kind of like not so good at MMA and stuff like that, and they like striking, so it would be better suited for them. Outside of those few guys, no, like nobody in the public's come in and been like, hey, I want to do that. And for the most part, and I'm going from the public all the way up to Duke Rufus the other night because my guy Cody Lynn won Anthony Pettis' fighting championships title. And I ran into Duke, and Duke's just like, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. We trained together in the past. And he's just like, man, that's you're crazy. And this is a known striking coach.
Yeah.
This is what he does. And he's like, that's crazy. It's that idea that you're hitting someone with a bare knuckle. See, Duke has a different value of it because he's getting hit with gloves on, and he knows, like, yeah, bare knuckle, it's different. It's just like, I haven't even quite figured out a way to really explain. Just all I can say is, it's just for the people that do it and that also have done striking with gloves on, big gloves, little gloves, MMA gloves. Because I've done all of them at this point. Yeah, and it's just something different. So I think the public comes in, they're just like, no way. Like MMA at the most is the few guys we got. We got guys that come in like they learn how to kickbox and stuff with big gloves on. But the idea of bare knuckle, I still think freaks people out.
Yeah, a lot of people say, when we talk to people and we finally explain to them, they're like, oh, so it's like boxing with no gloves. And you're like, well, kind of, but not exactly, because as the sport has progressed, people start learning, like, you can't just block the same. The defense has to be different. It's not the same. You can't. The offense is a bit different too. Sure, you're punching, but you just can't wing punches. Well, you can, but you're not going to like what happens if you're just winging. You hit the wrong part of the head, you're breaking your hand. There's like crazy there's nuances that happen in BK that I don't think in the beginning of even BK, the fighters even realized that. But at this point, with having, we're going on to BKFC 56 and all these other side events like fight nights and stuff, people start realizing like, oh, wow, that's why Elvin Brito does this with his elbows and holds them up, or that's why this person does this. And it's different. It's its own thing. It's its own thing. Yeah.
You're getting these talented guys that have done 7-8 fights of it. Yeah, they're changing the game. And, guys that they might train with might be starting to learn too. I'm just taking my experience And that the Copeland fight was a really big deal for me.
Oh,
I got 3 rounds of learning in there with somebody that you now know. Like, I don't know if people really, when I told it after the fight, I'm like, you guys didn't know this is one of the toughest guys in this division right now. And I don't know if anybody took me serious. And he comes out and walks through a former boxing champion, more or less. And he even caught David Feldman. Was even like, yeah, wow. Like, yeah.
That fight was crazy.
Him and I are legit. Like, we proved it to each other. You know, yeah, he got the wrong end of it because I do feel like I'm on another level. And I know that he's at another level. That's how crazy it is. And he helped teach me a lot in that fight. And you can't, I'm just telling you. I love sparring with big gloves on. I'll absolutely fight Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou with any form of like 10 ounce and up. I'm a master with gloves on. I just am. So I have to do my thing. As you come down, it becomes more of a gunfight. Like, goes from a rubber knife fight down to a real knife fight. Like, you can't, the mistakes and everything that can go on just decrease the MMA gloves. It's like, yeah, Francis is sick. He's brutal because that guy just got to land one shot.
Yeah.
And it's a thing. Well, the boxing gloves on him and Tyson Fury, look at the worst. It was a black eye after how many rounds? This is a huge difference.
Right.
If they did a boxing match with MMA gloves on, that fight's totally fucking different.
Oh yeah.
People don't even understand. They do bare knuckle. It's even fucking crazier. It's
like, Tyson Fury on that knockdown.
Fully understand the difference between them yet. The only way people would know is if I got to do a boxing match with one of them and the world could see it. Then it'd be like, holy shit. Like, that's how I feel. I'll sign the contract tonight. Like, yep, I have no problem with big gloves on. Because it's just, I don't want to say it, but it's easy. It's different. Like, you know, you can make mistakes.
Right. And like, can I ask you a question? The amount of punches that you threw and landed with Copeland, if you had gloves on your hands, your hands probably felt pretty normal after that fight, landing all those. You were just like, you would have been surprised that he could take that many shots and keep on going. What were your hands like after that? Because you landed so many damn punches on his big old head, and he just kept taking them and taking them. After 3 rounds of that, that's what makes I felt bad for his face for sure. But I'm like, your hands, were they sore for a couple, a week or so?
It's strong now. It's ready. But if I had to do a tournament that night, I would have had a problem. And if they were like, Ben, you have to fight in 3 weeks from now, I would have had a problem.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, what am I fighting for? Money? Or am I fighting for millions of dollars? Or am I fighting for, my life? If I'm fighting for my life, I'd fight, of course. I'm fighting for money? No. Like, I'm broken, like my hand, okay? So this is the thing of Copeland, how fucking tough he is. A fucking scar from a tooth. Because nothing else in the fight could have did it. It was like, I have it on a camera right after we took the wraps off. It's a hole in my knuckle, the bone part of all places. I'm like, I've never in my life would even think it was like that. I didn't know how my knuckle worked. And thankfully, I got it taken care of right, and it's healed, and it's strong. Yeah. But it was a thing. And it was like, damn, that was a tooth through a knuckle. So it's like, I'm going to tell you, I've been doing this 20-some years. I've hit lots of people through sparring, fights, everything in the face, and I've never seen anything like that. So
wild, just wild. Oh my god!
And he had an energy with him being in his hometown. It's like, man, you want to talk about putting someone, make them fight for their life? Like, you don't understand the situation. Put him in. I was fighting probably the toughest Copeland ever in his life. I bet you I don't think he'd get much of an argument. He came with everything, and I like.
Oh yeah.
Did my thing, and I'm like happy that he showed against another legit guy how good he is and tough. And like, yeah, the other guys in the division, I think they got a serious problem with him.
Ben, I sat down.
No, I got to keep going.
I sat down during that fight. Now, if that sounds like you don't know what that means because you don't know me, right? That means a lot. Like, I don't sit down. People who know me know that I stand up all the time. I don't sit down almost never. During your fight, I fucking sat down. I had to sit down. I was like, I can't move. I have to sit here and watch this because this is insane. I cannot believe how many punches that these guys are throwing in heavyweight division. I had to sit there. I just sat in any old open seat that was near the ring, and I sat down and watched the whole freaking thing because I couldn't move. I was I was drawn into that fight because it was incredible. Like, you guys would go. It was nuts. I mean, we just talked about it, but it was just insane
And it
to me
was,
how
dude,
heavyweights are throwing that many shots in that many rounds, and they had to throw the towel in basically.
Right.
The guy was going to keep fighting you, and you were just going to keep trying to come in and annihilate him, and he was just going to keep on taking that at the end of that fight until he would have died. Probably he was going to die on his sword. Like he was not going to give up. It was that crazy.
Whole fight, and for me, to be in the moment, to actually hear the crowd and understand what was happening. All they know is the things that I said prior to that fight. And when I tell people now, how do you become a fan of the sport? You know, what is it? It's the live shows. That's why Utah is a big deal. Like, we do this and they hear it, because I don't know how many fights outside of out of bare knuckle fighting you guys had, but it's distinctively different bare knuckle than it is the other fights because of the sound. And the entire crowd gets into it. Every time I was hitting him, and they were like the hard shots and and there's like a moment in between, I could feel the crowd. Instead of sitting down, I was feeling people stand up. And like, people were like, "Wah!"
Yeah.
And every time I hit them, I could hear, "Wah! Wah!" And then it energized me. I was like, damn, and that's why when people saw, like, when I watch it on, I watch a replay of it, I'm like, okay, it's not even close to what the crowd was feeling in that fight. And kind of shots Copeland was taking.
It was incredible.
What you just said, we say it to people all the time. We say that because Mike and I have been to UFC events. We've been to Bellator events. We've been to boxing events. We've been to lion fights at Foxwoods, Glory Kickboxing. Because we live right near World Series. We live right near. So we got Mohegan Sun, Foxwoods, and Twin River Casino, like right around us. So CES, Bellator, UFC. Boston's an hour away, so we go to Boston, see UFC events. When Mike and I went to cover our first bare knuckle event, and like we walked up near the ring, and we had seen it on TV, just like you just said. We'd seen it on the app and whatnot, but we got there and we heard and like we looked at each other, we're like, holy fucking shit. Did you hear that? And it like stuck with us from that point on. We were like, whoa. And then like 3 fights later, it was Taylor Starling versus Charissa Sagala. And these two women beat each other almost to fucking death and then hugged it out and gave each other hugs and kisses afterwards. And like, we're the best of friends. We were like, wow, this is a different sport. This is much different.
Like I could feel it in my body. Like after I left, I felt like I feel like I exited the arena with all of those punches like in my body. Like I felt it. It was something like unexplainable. The live events are different.
You left still like, you left it just thinking about it. Like you said, it like stuck itself to you and resonated more or less. And so I said, I think that's what's so important. That's, change your feeling on it right then and there, seeing live an event. And I know it when I go to the events that I've watched, especially when I went to Denver first before I'd fought on it. The people afterwards, it was awesome getting the feedback from everybody. They were like, "This is our first one," and I'm like, "What'd you guys think?" They're like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "Bam, that's we just made a bunch of new fans right there in that moment. I got to see it, and I'm like, this is awesome. Like, we're on to something."
It's something.
This isn't for everybody. No, you're right. It isn't. But I'm one of the people that can do it, and I think I have an opportunity to make people excited and become fans of something. And that is a joy that I can't even put a price tag on. That people come up and they want a picture or something because they're excited. I made them happy. That's what I don't need any more motivation than that right there.
I love it, Ben. We're not going to keep you much longer. We just want to say that thank you very much for coming on here. BKFC 56 is December 2nd. You're taking on Todd Duffee. Do we expect a gunfight like we saw with you and Copeland on that night? Do you see it playing out similar, or do you see yourself going through Todd pretty quickly? What are your thoughts heading in there 10 days out, and then we'll let you get out of here, man?
That is why you and everybody that's watching right now is going to tune in, because you want to know, and I'm telling you, you won't disappoint. my past speaks for itself in the last 2 fights, so you know what I'm bringing to the table.
Incredible, man. We're excited to see you. We'll be out there for Media Day. I think that's next Thursday. We'll be out there for Media Day, and we'll be out there for the entire duration of the event. I don't know what you're doing tomorrow, if you got something going on with the family, but have yourself a great Thanksgiving, and we will see you next week. Mike, do you have anything else for Ben?
Happy Thanksgiving, Ben. Can't wait to see you next week, and you'll see me with the camera rolling and pow.
And just know, I know,
you know?
there's this weird fighter media thing that you see some guys, especially in the other, MMA and things like that, talk about media. Dude, since I started getting really interviewed when I started in the IFL, was like when I got a name, started learning how to do that kind of thing. And just since then, through the UFC, through everything I've done, I've always tried. I have a lot of friends in the MMA media now because over the years, I've known each other 12 years, 10 years, some of these guys. And I really appreciate them because I've always respected media because I started in a time when it was dark ages, I call it.
Yeah.
There was government trying to ban it. There was, it was like renegade feeling. People were against it. And to see it today become this international entity of combat sports like it's never been before, and I just happen to be born and living in this time frame, is incredible. So I appreciate the media because we're very much a team in this. If it wasn't for you guys, who's going to get it out there? Who's going to make us want to come watch us fight and do our thing? So it's a partnership, and you guys are awesome. Thank you for doing what you do. Keep doing your thing. And I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Thank you, Ben. Have a great night.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks. Hey, happy Thanksgiving, man. There he is, Big Ben Rothwell. Hopefully he doesn't put my fucking stomach through my spine. I don't know. Listen, we just had a good conversation. I think he's not going to do it. I mean, I hope he doesn't do it. I feel like it would ruin my whole week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do it just enough. So it just ruins a few minutes of your life.
That was awesome. Awesome talking to Big Ben as well.
Yeah.
Big Ben, Eddie Alvarez, Howard Davis. We thank you guys so much, but we have one more segment that we got to do
before we get into the segment. Ben was requesting this. I couldn't.
Oh my God! Does Big Ben does comments Big Ben have a bigger head than Big Ben, or is that just the angle?
I mean, maybe, but he is a little closer to the screen, to the actual camera, but he possibly does. He has a longer head.
Wow.
Possibly.
Look at these two monsters.
He's a little bit ahead. He's a little bit in front though. So, because I think they're very close to the same height. I mean, Ben might be slightly.
Hey, don't go anywhere. You guys in the comment section, Falcon saying great show, epic. Listen, there's still one more segment, you guys, you stew-nods. We got something that we need to do. So hold on. Look at that right there. What do you got up there, Mike?
Canada tryout Saturday, November 11th. That's when it happened. We spoke about it earlier, but so it has come and it has gone.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, we did mention it earlier, so I just wanted to pull that up, and so we'll probably be seeing some Canada fighters.
Maybe an event in Canada one day.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Mike,
we're there.
Do you know what time it is? Mikey, Boo.
We got this.
Oh, turn that around. What do you got there?
Stew-nods.
Everybody's favorite segment, Stew-nod of the week.
Hey, hello, here we are. How are you? Get the hell off my lawn, you son of a bitch.
Hey, there you go. Stew-nod, stupid or crazy, out of touch with reality, disagreeable. Mikey, I got 4 candidates, and we had actual people sending entries in this week. And the first one, here we go. We got Chasin' Ebony. We got Cummy Kenny. We got Poopsum and Freddy Kroger.
What the hell is going on?
So, Mike, we got 4 doozies. I got 4 doozies for you. Do you
doozies?
You know that you are always the overseer you are the man who knows a stew-nod when he sees one, Mike. You are the judge. And I need
a gavel. I think I'm going to get a gavel.
So, Mike,
you think I should get a gavel, Kyle?
You should get a gavel.
I'm going to get a gavel.
Would you like to hear about
Stew-nod judge
Chasin' Ebony, Cummy Kenny, Freddy Kroger, or Poopsum?
Oh my God. Holy shit. Should we build up or should we start at the top? I mean, what is the top? I'm not even sure. Let's go for Freddy Kroger.
Oh, Freddy Kroger. Okay, our boy Freddy Kroger. All right, teenage grocer. Our boy, you see him down there in the right corner. This guy's a real smart guy. Here we go. This happened in what town are we in here? It doesn't fucking matter. So, teenage grocery bagger starts working at Kroger and processing lots of returns in 2 weeks, nearly $1 million missing. So a teenager was hired to work at a grocery store as a bagger at Kroger and has stolen nearly $1 million worth of goods in the space of just 2 weeks, Mike. 2 weeks. This guy started working at the supermarket, and then he started producing fake receipts. And then he used fraudulent return receipts to steal money from the supermarket giant. How many goddamn fake receipts did this kid have to print off and turn in to get $980,000 worth of money out of this grocery store in just under 2 weeks? What do you think of that?
I think that is absolutely incredible how that happened. What is going on over there? I don't know if anyone was paying attention or everybody. I don't even know.
Mike, hold on. There's more. Wait, there's more.
What? Oh,
Listen
really?
to this. Listen to this. You would think that he had to do like thousands of fake receipts to process $980,000 worth of returns, right? 40 fake transaction receipts ranging from $75,000 to $87,000 on these receipts.
What?
This motherfucker
You can clearly see this person ain't never gone shopping in their life.
At a grocery store. The false items ranged in prices from $75 to $87,000, with the money then transferred to several credit cards, according to cops. The money was allegedly used to buy clothes, guns, and cars. Mike, what say you about our boy?
To think that I have actually like bitched to myself, like, oh my God, $180? What is this? Russia?
His name is.
That's what I think about. Like, what the hell's going on here? I'm spending all this damn money in this.
19 years old. His name is Trey
here
Brown.
To go to different supermarkets trying to get a deal at like $180. Meanwhile, this dude doing $87,000 of shopping at a Kroger. You ever been to a Kroger? Have you ever been into a Kroger? People that are listening, I know people who are listening, watching, have been to a Kroger, and I'm gonna tell you what.
You ain't spending $87,000 in that.
You ain't spending that anywhere at any supermarket, but Kroger, come on.
All right. Okay. So there you go. You got Trey Brown, aka Freddy Kroger. You want to hear about Opoopsum, Chasing Ebony, or Cummy Kenny? What do you want?
Let's get to Chasing Ebony.
Oh,
what's that about?
Chasing Ebony. Here? Guys, ladies and gentlemen, everybody knows the beautiful boxer Ebony Bridges.
Yes.
The headline reads, Ebony Bridges claims Conor McGregor uses her for clout and reveals that she got more OnlyFans subscriptions after teaming up with the UFC star. So she went on to say, okay, she believes Conor McGregor uses her for clout, but she's not complaining. She's being nice about it, kinda, but she told Best Gambling Sites, he uses me for clout, really. He's sponsoring me to get his brand out there. That's what sponsors do. We met at the AJ fight and I wore his brand because he's using me to get his brand out there. Otherwise, he'd be wearing a Stout shirt. Anyways, so she signed and got sponsored to his whatever, that Black Ford Stout.
Yeah.
But what do you think about Ebony Bridges, boxing star, pretty blonde, OnlyFans model, saying that one Conor McGregor is using her for clout? Thoughts, Mike? What's going through that mind of yours?
What's going through my mind is this is just like the typical like self-inflated sense of self that you get by Instagram and TikTok, where people think that they're so much more important than they are just because they're pretty. Do you know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
That is going on across the fucking universe, right? I don't understand what is going to happen in the next 10 years, but there are going to be more, and this isn't even, it's funny, but it's not funny. What's going to happen to all these people?
This is a bad look.
What's going to happen to all these people who think that they're the best, that everybody needs them, that they're so great and they're doing all this stuff? And then in 10 years, when no one cares about, is the homeless rate going to rise by 3,000%? Because
like
everyone's
that
like, I don't know how to
movie
do shit. I just know how to
Idiocracy.
be pretty. Like, I can't do nothing. I
Remember-
really am nervous for the generation that we have here with all like the influencer movement they don't have anything else. However, I do have to say she is a boxer. She does do other things. So she's a little bit different than, the average everyday, simp. I'm going to simp. I follow, I'm sure 80 fucking thousand of these chicks. Can't keep up with it. Everybody's an influencer. So 80,000 people are going to be homeless real soon.
It's really,
I don't get it. So going back to her, the way that's phrased, how the hell is he using you for? I don't even know who the hell she is. Technically, I know she is because I've seen her
Mike,
with Conor McGregor. That's how I know her.
If you and I went out to downtown Westerly to the bars, there's like 19 bars downtown, right? So me and you, we stop in each bar and we ask 10 people in each bar, do you know who Conor McGregor is? Yes. He's a UFC star.
Right
He's
away.
Conor McGregor, blah, blah, blah.
Immediately.
Do you know who Ebony Bridges is? That's what we're going to get.
Yep.
They're gonna,
Exactly
I'm gonna,
like
and we could be like, no, Ebony Bridges. Do you know? Like, tell me who she is. Radio silence. That's what it would be.
Yeah.
Because she's fucking crazy for thinking that he would use her for clout. Maybe she doesn't know what the word clout is. Maybe she just didn't know how to word it right.
Yeah.
But she's wrong. That's for sure. Okay,
yeah.
so that was Chasing Ebony. Chasing Ebony and Freddie Kroger. You've heard about them. You got Opoopsum and you got Cummy Kenny. What do you got?
Let's do Cummy Kenny because I already saw this in the news. So let's do Cummy Kenny.
Okay. Here we go. Iowa man arrested for indecent exposure after pleasuring himself at a come-and-go gas station. Dude, those aren't the instructions on the sign. It's just the name of the gas station. That's what this article says. A man was recently arrested for apparently taking the name of Come and Go gas station a little too literal. The incident actually occurred back in March, but 54-year-old Kenneth Kelly was only recently identified and arrested for allegedly making sexual comments and pleasuring himself inside the Come and Go in Iowa City. Mike, what do you think about old Cummy Kenny up there fucking wanking it at a gas station named Come and Go?
I think he did everything every dude's ever thought of when they drove up to the Come and Go. Every single guy that's driven up to that, and even some females probably joked about it too. Everybody's been like, the Come and Go. Imagine. And he was like, oh, that's what this is for. And here I am. Hello, world.
So are you saying that he's not so much of a stunad, but
I mean, he's definitely a stunad, but I'm just saying he couldn't figure out, between the real world and like a joke, like when you drive up to the Come and Go with your buddy Kyle, and you're covering the fights and you drive up and you're like, Kyle, look, the Come and Go, and then you're like laughing about it and you leave. This guy was like, hey, Kyle, check this out. And he runs in. So, oh man.
You know what the best part about it is? Here it is. He was caught beaten off on the fucking surveillance camera, right? Turns out that Kelly wasn't just yanking. This is the way this is fucking written. Kenneth Kelly. Turns out Kelly wasn't just yanking his chain. Eventually admitted being the man from the surveillance footage, but he claims that he wasn't actually playing with himself. He was just scratching his genitalia. So he told these people that their eyes were deceiving them. In the video, he wasn't actually yanking his crank. He was fucking just scratching his balls.
Oh, and guys,
those are two totally different
Here
things.
It is. No. Wow.
Okay. Unbelievable, right? You can't make this shit up.
Yeah, that's really something, Kenny. What is wrong with you? Why did you do that? You could do it. Here's the crazy thing. You could do that wherever you like. You could just go home and do whatever you want to. Why do you have to go into a store? Like, what possesses somebody at a store to just go in and do that?
I know.
Can you imagine? Like, this
It's
is why
unreal.
we used to have facilities for these people. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, hey, that leaves us with one. Oh, poops him.
Oh, poops him.
Oh, poops him. So, Florida man arrested for pooping on a dead possum on street during rush hour, police say. In Clearwater, Florida, right in fucking Clearwater, Florida. I believe Travis Thompson trains down there. Maybe I think he's in the comments section. I think we got some people. He might be the guy that pooped on this fucking thing. Actually, a Florida man has found himself behind bars after he was seen by a police officer pooping on a dead possum in the middle of the street, according to the arrest affidavit from the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. Rudy Wilcox was arrested and charged with exposing his sexual organs after the alleged incident that unfolded on Wednesday near, the intersection of Belcher Road and Willow Tree in Clearwater. The 45-year-old man was seen by a police officer defecating onto a dead possum with his pants down and his backside exposed, according to the affidavit. Wilcox, who has no known residence, was allegedly in full sight of the motoring public during busy traffic hours.
The motoring public.
Motoring public. Here's the best part. Wilcox denied the allegations and said that the police, that the officer doesn't see straight.
He must have seen something.
Yeah. So old fucking, what was his name? Rudy Wilcox caught shitting on a dead possum during a busy street rush hour in Clearwater, Florida. Mike, what are your thoughts on old Rudy Wilcox? Old poops him.
He's trying to keep the water clear, baby. You know what I'm saying? He said, don't poop in the water. You poop on a possum. You keep that clear water clear. And, so this
Megan says in the comments he was burying him.
Hey, I mean, hey, listen, ash to ashes, dust to dust. You become one with the earth. It's just fertilizer. Monica says it's a sexual fetish. And you know what? I believe her because there's all sorts of those things going around. Here's what gets me. This dude couldn't just take a shit. Technically, if you're just going to pop a squat, it could really just take like 10 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't wipe your ass, which I'm sure this guy doesn't wipe his ass. Look at him. So he could not take a shit without a cop seeing him do it. Think about that. What the fuck kind of luck do you have where you can't just pop a squat and just shit for a second? It's a cop right there watching him.
Right there watching.
The motoring public and a police officer saw this man shit on a possum.
You saw it live in person, dude.
So
and then he says to the cop,
and they were like,
the cop said, he says, that's not what happened. You didn't see straight, officer.
He didn't see straight. He seen it wrong.
You've seen it wrong. So, Mike, those are your 4 options. I'll bring them back up there. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a winner. Tonight we have, Poopsum. You just heard of old Rudy Wilcox. Oh. You got Trey, whatever his name was, Freddie Kroger down there. Trey Williams stealing Trey Brown stealing. Oh, Trey Brown is Martin Brown's name.
Oh boy.
But Freddie Kroger.
Where Martin's been.
You got Kenneth Kelly, old AKA Cummy Kenny, and then you got the old clout magnet herself, chasing Ebony Bridges. Who is the biggest stew nod of these 4 nominees? Mike, give us a winner.
Oh my God. All right. Cummy Kenny. The guy who brought the fucking joke to life. He had to come and go. And he had to go and come too. I mean, he did both at the same time. And this guy, he did it. He couldn't just walk away. I blame this on the I blame this on the people who own it. Why did they make it a come and go? What is that? That's like when you see the truck that says A Dewey Pile. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like what is this? Just a big piece of shit truck driving down the road. I think it's their fault. They coaxed Cummy Kenny because, look at him. He's got a hard time thinking. I can just tell by looking at him. Look at his hair. Look at his face. Something's wrong with that guy. You can't put come and go on a sign. There are people stupid enough to listen to it. So I don't think he's stupid. I just think he needs some fucking help, and he needs one of those rubber rooms. There's a facility for people like this, and they shut them all down. So we all have to deal with these idiots.
So Kenny is not the Stunan. He's just A fucking
Yeah.
wacko.
He's a wacko. He's a nutcase. I don't even
Okay.
think he could even, if you told him, he'd be like, what are you talking about? It says come and go. It's what I did. He's just following directions. Come on. He can't be a
Okay.
Stu-Nod.
So Cummy Kenny's gone.
Yeah, let's get him out of here. He's not a Stu-Nod. He's
You
just
got Chase and
fucked
Ebony,
up.
Poopsum, and Freddy Krueger. Who do we go? What are we going next?
All right. I've got to go right back over to Poopsum, right? I feel like he doesn't fall far from I feel like they might fall in the exact same place on the tree. You know, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and the tree has these two guys hanging from each side. They got the cum side and the poop side. And Poopsum is over there just shitting on the ground because he doesn't have a house. Where's he supposed to shit? In the fucking bathroom? He's supposed to shit in the clear water? He can't. So shit on the fucking possum. I don't know why he shit on a possum, but he could have shit next to the possum. But here's the thing. You go over to San Francisco, everybody's shitting on the ground. So no big deal. He just shat on the fucking ground. There are people being fucking getting their faces eaten and run from the cops and fucking getting eaten by alligators and like all sorts of crazy shit going on in Florida. So we know that shitting on the ground ain't too bad. And this guy looks like a nutcase anyway. So
okay, so
he should join him and Kenny
and
are
Rudy
going to be roommates. One's going to be pooping, one's going to be shitting. Don't go in that room. It's going to be a sticky situation. Leave those guys out of your life.
Okay, so you've narrowed it down to Kroger and Ebony. What are we going?
Okay, yeah. So these two capable human beings here, they both have some thought processes that need to be talked about, and I am telling you, between the both of them, they made some crucial mistakes. And the one thing though about Ebony Bridges is that it doesn't matter because she's hot, and unfortunately nowadays sometimes that is all that matters right now. And she fights and she's still going to make money. So even though I think that she did kind of a dipshit thing by saying that Conor McGregor is getting clout off her, like she still, like, it didn't do anything to her. You know, it didn't make it worse for her. It didn't make it better. Actually, it probably did make it better because people talking about her being a dope for saying that Conor McGregor it's going to clout off her, and she's being seen at places. The dope in this whole thing, and maybe not even, is Conor McGregor's fiance or girlfriend, or I don't understand this relationship. It's the most difficult thing for me to understand because I see Conor McGregor out there with freaking Ebony Bridges, and by all means, I can't say that I'd be the better man in his situation because I've never been a billionaire like over fucking a few years. He was poor and now but what is going on? Like, I can't understand. This dude's with all sorts of chicks all the time. He's with Ebony Bridges, got his arm around her. They're clearly fucking around. So I don't know what's going on there, but I feel like that is like that's weird to me. So I'm gonna have to get rid of her. And I got to say, Freddy Krueger, bro, you don't spend $87,000 in one fucking supermarket run. I just can't get over that.
So
how do you do that? What is the oversight here? He's like, I think I'll just, if I want to steal some money, we'll just say I spent $87,000. That's pretty believable. But here's the thing that we didn't mention. Somebody has to be in on that, if not everybody.
Right.
How do people say, hey, fucking Freddie over here is coming in and he's turning in all these receipts. Like, after the very first one, here's the thing. If you're at my work where Kyle and I work and you do one ridiculously simple, dumb thing, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's just slightly dumb, the whole facility's going to know from fucking the one corner of the hangar all the way to the other. It don't matter if you're a maintenance, if you're in the office, if you're working in another fucking building, everybody knows about it. Hey, so-and-so did da-da-da-da, and you're all going to fucking know what happens right away. How does this dude go and turn in even one of those fucking receipts without the whole fucking place being like, Freddie, you're a goddamn idiot. Get
Dude,
out there.
And the fact is, Mike, he didn't do this over like a 2-year period,
right?
And spread it out. He did it in just under 2 weeks.
2 weeks, $87,000. He's like, yeah, I came
$980,000 total.
Altogether after 40 fucking visits, right? 40. What do you have? 40 receipts.
40 receipts,
yeah,
equaling $980,000.
How in the world did nobody? Every person inside that Kroger is a goddamn Stu-Nod. They're all in on it. There's no way they're not all in on it. How does not from the fucking carriage patrol all the way to the goddamn front management? How do they not understand that this is the thing? The cart knocks. I would even blame people like working in another state. How did they not see this? There was an oversight for 2 weeks and somebody was trading in $87,000 fucking receipts and they worked there and nobody fucking thought oh man, that's fucking weird, huh? He must have bought a lot of ice cream and it was on sale. So, he must have got a great deal on it. Like,
right.
Think about how much
dude, and Joe
Ivy
says best 2 weeks of his life, which is true because it says right in the report, allegedly used the money to buy clothes, guns, and cars, plural. This fucking kid, 19 years old, ripped off this grocery store for $980,000 in just under 2 weeks and managed to go buy a bunch of guns, new clothes, and a couple cars.
Excuse me, I have to pause for a second. Howie, you're going to win Stu Not of the Week. I hope that this is rhetorical. Have either of you had $980,000 cash? Did you see me? Do you hear my voice right now? No. If you're hearing my voice right now, I don't have that shit.
What does that question even have to do with anything? Like, what does that have to do with anything?
I think you're just saying it's just so fucking crazy to have that much money in cash. Like, it's ridiculous. But yeah, if I had $980,000 in cash, I'm probably highly doubt you guys would even know who I am right now.
Dude, shout out to Cart Knocks. I'm glad somebody in the comment section caught the Cart
Knocks, baby.
Cart Knocks, yeah.
Yep. Beep, boop, boop, beep. Cart Knocks. Go
so
check
Mike,
out Cart Knocks.
So our winner, you have our winner.
Freddie.
Yes,
Freddie Kroger. Hello. Oh my God.
Congratulations, Freddie Kroger.
Every person in that place has money. It's insane to me
that
nobody said anything.
That's what Howie meant. Howie was saying if he didn't get caught with it, he would have been a genius. That's true because $980,000 is a lot of fucking cash. But anyways,
the dumbest way to go about it,
dude.
Like I can't think of a stupider way to get money.
Shout out to Cummy Kenny and Rudy Wilcox pooping coming all over the place. Shout out to Ebony Bridges giving her clout to Conor McGregor, but none of you fucking Stu Nods can even hold a candle to Freddie Kroger, Trey Brown himself over there at Kroger's grocery store. Congratulations, Stu Nod of the Week. Hey.
Oh my God. Yeah, we need a jingle. We got to put a jingle together for that.
We need a jingle.
Smokes.
Dude, that was awesome. So, hey, we did have entries for that one. I don't know who sent us those, but shout out to you guys. Shout out, Let's Go Boy, Mike. Let's Go Boy.
Yep. Hold on. Here we go. Where is it? Oh, man.
Shout out, Let's Go Boy. Shout out, Let's Go Boy.
Are we going to see Shout Out, Let's Go Boys out there in Salt Lake City next week?
Oh, yes, we are. They will be there. I cannot wait.
It's going to be the best time. Hey, thank you to the Shave Parlor, BK Bet Shark, Dynamic Life. Shout out to Get Shit Done Coffee and whoever won the Student Out of the Week. I promise. I'm sorry I didn't shout your name out. I'll do it next week. But this is going to be mailed to you. I will find out who the entry was. I will reach out to you, get your address, and you're getting this Pain Stick.
Beauteous.
Courtesy of Turp House Farms. So thank you very much, guys, for participating. Mike, it was a great show. We had the legend himself, Eddie Alvarez, on. We had HD Davis taking on Kai Stewart for a world title. And we had Big Ben Rothwell, who would love to win against Todd Duffee and go on to become a world champion and be the ambassador for BKFC to take this thing worldwide and get everybody watching. Love that guy too. Great show. We don't have a show next week. So
because
Mike and I are flying out at about 5:30 in the goddamn morning Thursday to Salt Lake City. If you guys are interested in Student Out of the Week shirts, let us know. And we're going to talk about mass production of these bad boys. And and I hope you all have a great, wonderful Thanksgiving with your families. I tell everybody I work with, have a blast, eat some food, have some drinks.
Bullfrog, we're meeting up. What?
Do not fight anybody on Thanksgiving. It'll ruin everything, and you guys will have an awkward Christmas. No fights, okay? Enjoy your families. Be thankful. Unbelievable. And What else you got, Mike?
Hey, I see Bullfrog says where we're meeting up. If you're there, then I guess we are going somewhere. We're either going to eat breakfast. We're going to go to Top Golf. You're going to do some with me, Kyle, and the boys from Cali. We're going to get it done. I cannot wait. This is going to be fantastic.
All right. Well, hey, enjoy the football tomorrow. Did you know there's football Friday on Black Friday?
Friday?
It's the first time the NFL is going to have 3 games tomorrow on Thursday, and then the very first Black Friday NFL football game. And from this point on, they're going to have 3 games on Thursday and 1 on Friday every Thanksgiving. So you guys got a whole weekend of getting fat, eating Thanksgiving food, and then watching football, and then getting yourselves ready for BKFC 56 next week. Mike, I don't got anything else for the people. Thank you all for tuning in tonight, and we'll catch you next week. All right, Mike, peace.